Retro Raw number 328, September 6th, 1999.
See, he can be trained.
It just takes a long, long time and a lot of patience. Eventually, I do learn.
I've got a rolled up newspaper and a spray bottle.
A spray bottle, yes. So when you load up the network and you go to select your episode of Monday Night Raw you want to watch, each one's got a little text to hype up the show to let you know what's on there and entice you to choose this episode of you. When you load up Retro Raw number 328 from September 6th, 1999, it includes the following sentence as a tease. Mr. Ass receives a shot at the game's WWE title.
If I'd seen that before I watched the show...
I'd have canceled the network.
Jesus. I mean...
And it's worse than it sounds.
But you don't know this, Vinny, because you don't watch Raw. But last night, in the fucking first hour, they announced that the main event of Raw was Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Now, at the end of the show, or by the time the show was over, they changed it to Braun Strowman versus Finn Balor.
Okay.
But still.
But how in the flying fuck can you advertise Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin in the main event and let people go for 2 hours thinking that's how you're going to end the show?
Well, if you thought they knew they were going to win and didn't care in 1999, imagine how much they know they're going to win in 2018.
Fucking Mr. Ass versus Triple H for the title.
By the way, this Raw was preempted for tennis.
We should have watched tennis.
I cared so little I didn't even read the Observer from this week.
Is there a retro tennis network we can watch next week?
I literally cared that little.
They Raw still beat them 4.4 to 4.1.
A combined 8.5. I'm horrified.
Well, I'm shocked that that's pretty low for Raw. I mean, it was
at a
later
time
in the evening, but still, no one deserved to win this evening.
No, there were no winners and few survivors,
and we were the losers.
Yes.
Oddly enough, there weren't any winners on the in the matches either.
No. So Raw begins with Rock and Mankind versus Kane and X-Pac. So Rock's out there making fun of Kane, big red retard, finally learned to talk.
Hey, Jerry Lawler is running for the mayor of Memphis.
Yes.
Yep. And he referred to him as the big red retard.
Sure yes. Did. So he does his shtick. Mankind does his shtick. I like Lillian Garcia, by the way. She's still learning. She's still horrible. First, he referred to Mankind as Rock's opponent instead of his partner. And in this match, he was introducing each syllable as a complete sentence. The Rock. Mankind. Mankind does a promo, sends his best wishes to Bryan. That's not Bryan Alvarez, it's Bryan Hildebrand, who unfortunately passed away 2 days after this was taped.
Oh.
You know. So Kane comes out by himself, and apparently on SmackDown, X-Pac had told Kane, don't interfere or I won't be there on Raw, and then Kane interfered. So it's El Solo Kane tonight. The match begins.
By the way, last week, X-Pac, he wrestled Takamitsunoku.
Yeah.
Said he needed to face bigger opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And Kane still expected him to show up. Remember that was a storyline last week?
I mean, Rock and Mankind are bigger.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Remember they had the thing with...
Yeah, he said he wanted to face bigger opponents. Isn't that Rock and Mankind?
Understood, but he didn't come out for this match.
Yeah, because he said, Kane, if you interfere, I'm not coming out for the match.
Never mind.
The man of his word, Craig.
So Hunter comes out, he says, I will be your tag team partner, Kane, and Kane says no. China walks out with a sledgehammer.
Has anybody wrestling yet?
No.
Kinda. So Hunter tags himself in. Kane knocks him right back out of the ring, and so Hunter takes the hammer and hits Kane with it.
Yeah, Rock has Kane set up for the Rock bottom.
No. Kane has Rock set up for a chokeslam.
Okay, whatever. No. Rock has Kane set up for the Rock bottom, and Hunter hits Kane in the back with the sledgehammer.
Is that how you saw it, Craig?
Oh, actually, you might be right. But the point of this is, they're right in front of each other. Okay, it doesn't matter. The point is, they're right fucking looking at each other. And Hunter flies in behind with a sledgehammer shot, and they try to claim that Rock couldn't see it.
Yes. That is a fact. So Rock hits the rock bottom and people's elbow for the win. They claim not only the Rock, but also the ref and Mankind all missed Hunter Hearst Helmsley attacking with a sledgehammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the tag team champions win. Hunter goes to hit Kane with a sledgehammer more, and I don't know what happened, but every time you see Hunter use a sledgehammer over the past 15 years, he like puts his hand over the edge and thrusts with it.
Yes.
Here, he's swinging this hammer like a hammer.
Yeah.
Well, they had a fake hammer.
Clearly, it was
I
a
should
fake hammer.
hope so.
And then they probably figured out that kids can swing a hammer. So he probably shouldn't hit him like that.
So if you're going to imitate
Let's
us,
cover
at least,
the end of it and
at
then
least
hit them.
imitate this way.
Yes.
You can.
Can you swing a hammer, Brian?
Hell yeah, Craig.
Okay.
Don't
So-
buy into this gimmick, Craig.
So Hunter is beating up Kane when
I'm a
should make-
man's man.
Who should make the save but Big Show and emo biker Undertaker?
Mm-hmm.
And they chased Hunter away, and Kane limped away in his own.
I have no idea who the heels and faces are supposed to be.
I had a similar thought. When this was all said and done, the only likable person in the entire segment was Kane.
All I know is I don't give a shit about anybody.
Well, that's true, too.
I don't know who I'm supposed to care about. I don't know who's supposed to be a good guy. I don't know who's supposed to be a bad guy. I don't know why the guys that I think are bad guys are saving each other. This is whoever
I don't have any answers.
came up with this bullshit about heels and faces don't matter and shades of gray
I think I know.
ruined this business for decades. And I hope they can live with themselves. It's bullshit. It sucked.
Michael Cole interviewed Jacqueline. She had a match with Jeff Jarrett tonight. She says she has beaten up women bigger and badder than Jarrett before.
Ooh.
Beat up Jarrett, Deborah, and Miss Kitty tonight.
She said she'd had no problem smacking 3 dumb blondes.
Yeah, yes. So it's Jeff Jarrett and Jacqueline. Deborah is not there. Jarrett says she's too good for this town. No puppies tonight. Invites China to watch and see what happens when a woman steps into his world. So Jacqueline hits the ring. Jarrett totally manhandles her, clotheslines her head off, and taps her out with a figure 4.
Well, there was a little bit where she beat the shit out of him.
He had like 2 kicks.
She kicked him a little bit, but mostly he mauled her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He massacred her. He made her give up via pain,
Yeah,
twisted her limbs, and then broke a goddamn guitar over her head.
that happened too.
Badly.
At least it was short.
This company sucks.
Terry Taylor interviewed Val Venus. So on SmackDown, Steve Blackman attacked Val with nunchucks.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It was not explained why.
What else would he attack him with?
Kendo sticks.
No, he's a martial artist.
Kendo sticks. Hands. Fists.
No.
Kicks.
Nunchucks.
I want to know why he attacked Val. Why is the assassin now targeting a porn star?
Well, you see, we got 3 shows. We only watch one of them. And they don't bother telling us enough if we only watch the one.
My point is more, I don't think they can have a storyline that explains this that does make sense.
He's a martial artist, and he's mad at a porn star, so he hit him with some sticks on a chain. Why is this so hard to figure out? That's the least of our fucking problems on this show, as far as things that don't make sense.
Well, another thing happened on SmackDown.
He could have thrown a ninja star at him. He's a martial artist.
He could have.
Yeah. He could have choked him with a gi. There's a lot of things he could have done.
The newsworthiest thing to happen on SmackDown so far, the Dudley Boys debuted.
Yes.
They attacked...
Well, that and Shawn Michaels cost Rock the championship, but they refused to show that because I guess Shawn got in trouble.
Shawn, they got mad at Shawn. I would actually argue in the long term, in hindsight, the Dudley Boys debut is a bigger deal. They attacked on SmackDown. There's some tag team match going on, and they attacked everyone with some weak-looking 2x4 shots. Edge and Christian versus the Acolytes.
Just sort of a match.
A
I wrote that every single time there were men in the ring.
This was a
Just
number 1 contender.
Sort of a match.
Sort of a match.
So Bradshaw goes to powerbomb Christian, and the spot's supposed to be Edge will break it up with a dropkick, but Edge is way out of position. So Bradshaw does his hell with this. I'm powerbombing this guy anyway. And Christian is not prepared, gives him 0 help. Bradshaw
Dude.
just herks him up, slams him down.
He fucking killed this guy, who, by the way, I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, retired young due to too many concussions.
I seem to recall hearing that, yeah.
Yeah.
He tried another one. Edge got the dropkick this time. Christian cradled him and won. And it wasn't a very good match, but hey, clean pin.
We did have a clean pin.
And not the last one. As well.
Edge and Christian are now the number 1 contenders.
Yeah, we're supposed to believe Edge and Christian are going to wrestle Rock and Mankind.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be a good match.
I mean, it would. I know that now, but if I'm watching this in 1999...
I watched the fucking B team versus Drew and Dolph for the tag team titles. And
Yeah.
the B team were the champions.
Yeah, they are in each other's league.
No, they're not, Vinny.
Okay.
Are you kidding me? Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel?
As star power.
No.
No! Drew and Dolph are like an actual big-time main event tag
Rocky
team on Raw
Mankind
now.
are pay-per-view main eventers.
So are Drew and Dolph!
One time, Dolph main evented a pay-per-view.
Okay, well, still. He doesn't understand the B team.
I guess I don't.
No.
No.
Trying to explain this to you now that you don't watch the show, it really, really hammers home some things.
So Edge and Christian are trying to do a promo backstage. The Acolytes interrupt, but before they can do anything, the Dudleys jump them, lay them out with trash can shots.
Total low-rent WWE version of the Dudleys. You know, they were Public Enemy when they went to WCW. They had very fancy jerseys now. They were cartoon characters. They had makeup on. They had scripted promos.
Did you see makeup
Just
on them?
Sucked.
I didn't see makeup.
I'm sure they put the...
They probably got a higher
them.
budget shirt. I bet that's true.
Yeah, lame.
GTV. Val Venus and The Big Show were pissing.
Yep, in a urinal.
Yes.
Val laughed at Show's tiny dick.
Yep.
Show laid Val out.
Yeah, so Val is facing the urinal, allegedly pissing.
Yeah.
He looks over and he goes, "They call you the Big Show? Ha-ha!" Big Show pulls his pants up. Val apparently is still pissing. Show whacks him in the back of the head. Val falls down with his pants on.
Right.
He pisses with his pants on.
Doesn't everybody?
You paid way too much
No.
attention to this.
That's stupid.
You don't say.
How about we not gloss over the fact
It's
that
so dumb.
how about we not gloss over the fact that Val is a meat gazer?
That is creepy.
He's a porn star. That's the most logical thing on the show so far tonight.
So you're at a urinal and a porn star walks up, starts taking a leak, and he looks over the thing. Oh, it's fine. You're a porn star.
Okay, if I were at a urinal and there was you, Vinny, and a porn star, okay, and one of them was going to look at my cock, I can tell you it wouldn't be either of you. It'd be the porn star.
He's got you there.
Thank you. Would he not be the most likely of the three?
He's either judging competition or scouting talent.
Yes!
Recruiting.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
For him, it's just another day at the office. Now, if I didn't know he was a porn star, yeah, I'd be a little weirded out.
Okay.
I do think Big Show overreacted.
Give you an example.
I don't think
When
so.
we went to Vegas, our friend Hadley,
Where's this going?
she's not a stripper, but she goes to a pole dancing class, okay? So of every woman that happened to be in that strip club that night that was not a dancer,
She was critiquing.
there was maybe one other, okay? Who do you think would be critiquing the pole dancers? The one who's pole danced. So therefore, Craig, what did you call it, Vinny? Cock gazer?
Oh, he did.
meat gazer.
Meat gazer?
Yeah.
Most likely to be a porn star. That makes sense to me.
I'm,
Just telling you.
world has passed me by.
Yes.
On that note, let's talk about meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's please.
No, they figured out the name meat sucked.
Michael Cole said, "Hey, you're Meat." And Meat says, "No, I'm not. I am Sean Stasiak.
Oh.
My
what
dad
is
is a former world champion."
You know, it worked so well for that headbanger. They've decided we'll get rid of this fucking guy's name too.
Well, we'll get rid of his name by just having him announce his new name. Making a production of the fact he's just a guy now.
Mm-hmm.
And the kickstart to Sean Stasiak's new push as Sean Stasiak, son of former world champion, the Mean Street Posse immediately beats the fuck out of him. Way to go, Meat.
Yeah.
You're actually worse off now than you were when the segment started. So Val comes out in gym shorts and sneakers, and he calls out the Big Show.
Piss all over the front of him.
I would imagine.
Same outfit he was wearing in the urinal.
And Taker turns to Show backstage. They're watching the monitor, and he says, "You gonna pick that up?" Show says, "What?" Taker says, "That punk card he just dropped on you."
Dude.
Show goes, "Ah, bah, 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 bah." He goes to fight Val Venus. So you got Big Show out there in jeans instead of trunks, and Val out there in gym shorts and sneakers. I'm not sure, but I think every single thing they did was taken directly from Shawn Michaels and Diesel at Mania. And then Val comes off the top rope, and Show catches him and chokeslams him for the win.
Sweet.
Blackman runs out, attacks Val with a kendo stick, Bryan. There are other weapons.
I'm well aware of that, Vinny. I just couldn't figure out why you were baffled that a martial artist used nunchucks. He's used them before.
He's a martial artist. He should use his deadly hands.
There are many types of martial arts, Craig. Some use weapons.
I just want to point out, everyone, you can do clean finishes and then still do bullshit with run-ins and interference and attacks.
Don't be
afterwards,
silly, Vinny. Are you crazy?
as was evidenced by this show. Dudley's did a promo with the Red Rooster.
Oh my God, the Red Rooster. This guy can't even conduct an interview. He's so over the top and it's out of control.
So Bubba here is a Total cartoon. Stuttering Southern redneck.
Yeah. Public Enemy.
Back to the stuttering.
Well, he was doing this for a while in ECW. It's not what made him a star in ECW.
Yeah, but this is bad.
Well, what's bad?
The last
WWE.
last part of his ECW run, he was out of his mind.
Yeah.
No stuttering.
Oh, I know.
Inciting riots.
Yes.
And WWE brings him
And
back.
from Brooklyn.
Hey, do that stuttering gimmick.
Do the stuttering redneck gimmick that no
With
one
a
cared
very thick Southern accent.
about. Yes. So he's doing that again, and Devon steals some material from Pulp Fiction. He's about to repeat his ECW catchphrases, which include a very naughty word. When right on cue, the Acolytes attack and beat the ever-living fuck out of them.
I mean, the Acolytes that got beat up earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50-50 booking in backstage attacks.
Yes, on the same show.
On the same show. Lillian's in the ring when Howard Finkel interrupts. Howard says, "I am the best ring announcer," and everyone cheers because he is.
Yeah, this is one of those things just like today.
It is.
Nothing ever changes.
If you-
We're gonna have Howard. We're gonna have this short, bald Howard Finkel come out and cut a promo on the pretty girl. Everybody's gonna boo him. Instead, he points out, "I'm way better than you," and they all cheer.
Yeah, because he is.
He's just so clueless.
Yeah, the whole thing with Becky and even Roman, I mean, it's been decades since they've forgotten what makes people likable and hateable. So Howard says, "I'm the best ring announcer." They cheer. He says, "You take a seat. You're not in my league." They cheer. She's not. So, oh, by the way, as Lillian is going to leave the ring, Jerry Lawler, who's legit running for mayor of Memphis, says, "Ooh, we get to see your underwear."
Yeah.
Something about that. It's very close to that. Then Howard takes the notes, and it's actually a great reveal. He takes the notes to see who he's going to announce and just says, "Oh no." And Ken Shamrock comes out to murder him because they've been feuding. So Shamrock chases him down, but then Jericho appears on the big screen. He says, "This is not fake like UFC. This is sports entertainment. This is real." He offers to face Shamrock face to face on SmackDown. At this point, Shamrock releases Finkel and goes sprinting up the ramp and disappears. I would like to think he ran directly to the building on SmackDown, and he spends the next 2.5 days just running.
He's such a subhuman.
Yes.
They book him as such a Cro-Magnon. Oh, I'm gonna snap now.
Ah! Ross cites a reliable source saying Steve Austin would be on SmackDown. I don't know what happened, but Lawler was arguing he would not be, and Ross says, no, he is. So either he's going to be there and they did a horrible job of pushing it, or he's not going to be there and they're putting the heat on Ross for whatever reason. I don't know.
Or he'll be there.
Somewhere in here, Lawler says Finkel is a mark for Chris Jericho and Ross is a mark for Austin. Russo. Hunter and Chyna come out for a promo. Kane is referred to as a retard once more. Hunter takes credit for crippling Austin, destroying Mankind, dominating The Rock on SmackDown. He name drops Linda.
That was weird.
Has she been on? Have I forgotten her appearance?
Nope.
I feel like she's been on somewhere.
She may have like showed up once in the past year or so. Like when the whole thing with Shane and Stav and Taker and all that. But anyway. Name drops Linda, warns her to keep your ass out of my business, he says.
Something must have happened on some show and they didn't bother to tell us what was going on.
So the gimmick is, and he actually explained it like this: Mr. Ass is like Voldemort. If you say his name, he'll appear. So he comes out, he says he thought he heard his name. He explains Hunter had recruited him into DX. He says, quote, "To avoid Mr. Ass kicking your ass, if anyone knows about ass, it's Mr. Ass. And not only are you an ass, you're an asshole."
And then they played his music.
His music started.
That was his big go-home line.
Yeah. His music started and immediately stopped. Hunter ignored this. He challenged Mr. Ass to a title match, apparently for tonight.
Yes, for tonight in the main event.
Well, we knew by the end, but the announcers were not clear. Ass told him to suck it, and apparently Mr. Ass is a babyface now.
I thought it was abundantly clear it was the main event tonight because I just thought about it for an hour. Like, you're not really doing this match.
I see.
There's no way. Hunter and Mr. Ass for the championship on Raw.
Mean Street Posse versus Test and the Stooges.
You know who Test is? He's
Andrew Martin.
Diesel.
You got a lot of
He's
Diesel.
Big Cass.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just a tall dude, long hair, generic outfit. Can't do much.
Oh,
He's
well,
tall.
he can do one thing, as we learned. So
What's that?
I'll get to the end here. So Posse has Terry Reynolds with them. Patterson comes out, taking his shirt off and jiggling his man boobs. Test is late. He lets the senior citizens get beat up for a while. Okay, Test runs out, beats everybody up. He throws Rodney out of the ring. Stasiak runs out and attacks Rodney. Stasiak throws Rodney into the ring. Test does a horribly mistimed meltdown because Rodney's an amateur, you see. And you could tell here. And then he lays Rodney out for an elbow. And I looked at this and I thought, he's in the wrong corner. Test can't jump this far.
He's tall. And it's springy.
So
It's actually fall.
Test goes up desperately looking for acknowledgement for his joke. Test goes up to the top rope, and these morons cut to the camera where he's jumping right at you.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can't see how far he's jumping.
But you can see him kill this guy.
But you can see what you can see is how long he's in the air.
Yes.
He had major hang time here. And then, yes, since he had to put all his focus into jumping far, he couldn't control his landing, and he landed on Rodney and destroyed him. Gosh. Hollies versus New Brood.
The New Brood.
So
Hardy's out here as heels.
Kinda.
Doing matches where nobody cares when they get the heat on the other guys.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Hollies music. The Hardys music and the flaming entrance.
The Hardys had Gangrel's entrance and their music. It was very strange. They showed on SmackDown Matt Hardy pinned somebody with what had to be the only moonsault press of his entire career. So the gimmick is the Hollies have a scale. They will only wrestle super heavyweights. The Hardys must qualify. So they don't. The Hardys call them anorexic and string bean and whatever. Then they call Gangrel Dracula, also call him a fat bastard.
Wow.
Tell him to step on the scale. He also does not qualify.
That would not fly in 2018.
No. Hardcore tells them to go eat some donuts. This match is not happening, but the Hardys jump them, and it happens. Okay, now listen to all this, right? The Hollies come out here with a goddamn scale. They're assholes. They make fun of these guys. They get the ass kicking they deserve, and we're supposed to cheer for them.
Yeah. They beat the hell out of Crash.
They beat him forever.
Absolutely dead crowd because nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
He tags Bob. No reaction whatsoever because everything's so fucked up with this Shades of Grey bullshit. Mm-hmm.
I can't say there was no reaction. There were boring chants.
I'm sorry.
Yes. So at this point, it goes on for a while. I wrote, "Take it home, fuckers," in all caps.
Wow.
Jeff hits the senton on Hardcore. It's not the finish. They keep going. A four-way breaks out. Bob pins Matt with a Falcon Arrow.
Even I knew in 1999, if you're going to do a big-ass senton, that's the finish.
Yeah.
They're doing this match, and Jeff just flies like 80 feet. This beautiful senton. He didn't even make a cover.
No.
They just kept doing more moves.
So, Hollies win. Vampires are beating them up. The lights go out. Crash gets a bloodbath. Hardcore thinks it's funny, and he and Crash start to brawl.
Crowd's dead.
These Hollies entertain me.
It's different.
You're the one.
It's different, I will say that.
They're entertaining to me. They make me laugh.
If they were heels, it'd be good. We're supposed to cheer for them, so it sucks.
They're supposed to be baby faces.
That part sucks. Cole is interviewing Taker and Big Show. Taker just dismisses him. Says, "We are cashing in our rematch clause for the World Tag Team titles on SmackDown. We want a buried alive match." And at this point, Taker and Show start to tell some kind of joke about Burroughs, but I can't tell you what it was because the announcers were talking right over it.
It's not just a title match. It's a buried alive title match, they say. And yeah, there was a burrowing comment, and then Undertaker was like, "I didn't say burrow. I said buried alive."
Horrible.
Speaking of horrible,
That's what I also wrote.
However,
you took the words right out of my mouth.
There's footage from SmackDown of the Big Boss Man feeding Pepper to Al Snow. He feeds him Pepper in the hotel room. I'd forgotten about this, but at the end of the segment, Boss Man takes a bite out of Pepper and alerts us that it tastes like chicken. Okay, listen. This is awesome.
What?
Do you understand? This is awesome.
You've lost your mind.
No, because it's ridiculous, okay?
Yeah.
No one ever forgot it. It was Al Snow's dog.
So that it makes it okay.
Boss Man is just having the time of his life. He's so happy that it tastes like chicken. They embraced this.
I will say this.
Yes.
I will say this. The segment where Boss Man feeds Pepper to Al Snow is one of the best things Al Snow ever did.
There you go.
And
That was followed here.
As evidence of that fact, fuck. Al Snow is dressed as Avatar. which is the ninja he used to play who would carry a mask down to the ring and then put it on.
Excuse me. He'd come down to the ring unmasked,
Yes.
carrying a mask,
Yes.
and then put on the mask
Yes.
and wrestle.
That was his idea.
It's fucking idiotic.
Well, it didn't work. They tried something, it didn't
Just
work.
checking.
So he comes down, he cuts a promo as a superhero. Never fear, citizens, I am here to stop evil. He goes on with this tack for a while. No one is buying this bullshit. And then at some point, Avatar snaps back into Al and he takes his mask off and snaps, "What am I doing? Where am I?" He says, and we're supposed to take this seriously, "The last time they put me in this outfit, you could have shoved a magnet up my ass and dragged me through Fort Knox, and I still wouldn't draw money."
I don't know my metals really well, but
Gold's not magnetic.
okay.
No. More to the point,
You know what else isn't magnetic? His ass.
his personality. We're supposed to care about Al Snow's breakdown and his dog being cooked and fed to him.
Yeah.
Because now he's back in a genie costume that didn't make money 5 years ago.
There's a gimmick.
Well, that's what he called them genie pants.
I really want to win. I really want to.
This is so dumb.
So he starts crying. He's barking. He hits the announce desk. He scribbles on a notepad. He barks up the ramp.
So what, now he's crazy?
Now he's crazy.
Not
Because before he was sane.
He's crazier. I assume that his scribbles in the notepad are the plans for Ken L from Hell.
Can I wait for the Big Show's father to pass away and he goes surfing on that coffin? These are the kind of things we need on this show.
So
This show, Vinny, it's so fucking boring and bad.
I'm not arguing
That
with you.
shit like Pepper getting fed to Al Snow.
I'm
At
not
this
arguing with
point,
you.
this is the shit that I'm excited for.
I just want to know. Remind me, was Al Snow even in a mediocre segment?
Never.
Because it seems like every time since he came back from ECW, every single thing he's done has been terrible.
Awful. I'm not even sure he ever did anything good in ECW.
Oh, that's not true. He was crazy over.
I didn't ask if he was over or not. I asked if he did anything good. I'll have to go back and look. I see zero evidence in his WWE run.
Okay.
Rock and Mankind did a backstage promo. Long story short, they accepted Show and Taker's challenge for SmackDown. They were more entertaining than I was. GTV. So there's this woman.
I think it's Marianne.
No, it was.
Okay.
But she was brought in to be Mrs. Cleavage.
Yes.
They determined it was a bad idea to do an incest storyline.
Yes.
So now she's just a boyfriend of the guy who's pretending to be her son,
Who's not?
who's not her son. And now last week there was some big hullabaloo about
Yeah, she was kissing meat.
she was kissing meat and whatever. So now she's on the phone. Well, she was.
Rob, don't look at me like that.
She says, he won't talk to me. He won't take my calls. He's treating me like shit. And that's it. That's all we know.
I don't know what's going on.
She's a woman scorned. Oh, wait. She did the scorning.
I don't care. D'Lo Brown versus Steve Blackman, or as Lillian called him, Steve Blackman.
Which is ironic because he's painfully white.
He's wrestling D'Lo and Mark Henry's involved. Mark Henry comes out with the European title, some lovely young women.
Oh, man, the one in pink.
Here's nothing to this. Highlight or Raw.
Holy smokes. Honest to
Or
God,
should I say headlights of Raw?
this is why they won the war.
Good looking blondes.
I can think of no other... I watched this whole show. With the exception of The Rock being there.
Yeah.
I can think of no other logical explanation as to why they won the war except for this woman in pink.
So
It certainly wasn't this fucking match. How far are we into this show? 90 fucking minutes?
Something like
they
that.
throw Steve fucking Blackman out there to put a goddamn chin lock on D'Lo Brown in this fucking match?
yes.
You've got to be kidding me.
So Blackman's going to use nunchucks when Val
See?
and Val lays him out with a kendo stick, steals the bag of weapons. D'Lo hits a frog splash for the win. Henry attacks D'Lo, hits a huge press slam, and then stomps him in his loafers.
I want to stomp myself in the nuts watching this show. That's how I felt about this show.
That's going to require some flexibility.
I'm very flexible.
Do it.
If
Prove it.
anybody in this room
Prove
can
it.
stomp themselves in the nuts, okay, it's me.
So the why are you boasting?
Why was Tori in a thong?
So okay, here's what happened. First, so what happened? Ivory and Tori are scheduled for a hardcore match, right?
Yeah.
Ivory is doing a promo to hype the hardcore match. He calls Tori a skank, and then Tori attacks, and the match is on.
In her underwear.
Tori is wearing a thong, a bra, and a button-up shirt.
Why?
And that's it.
Why?
And this is what she chose to go into battle with. This was her plan. She knew this match was happening. The show's running late. It must be coming up soon. She said, I shall attack Ivory 3/4 naked.
It gets better. She wears a see-through bra underneath her white shirt. And in the middle of this realizes, I got to keep these covered.
Yeah. Sure.
So she fights this whole damn match, pulling to keep her top closed.
Yeah.
And they fought into the shower at one point.
They fought in the shower where, as if this wasn't enough, Jacqueline's in there. They teased her she would be naked.
They threw tampons at each other.
They did.
If you think I'm making that up, I'm not.
No, that happened. Ivory's skirt got pulled up. We saw her ass too. They go brawl in front of Viscera and Droz and Albert, who are cheering them on like pigs. Well, this goes on for a while, and then Ivory breaks a mirror over Tori's head and pins her, and then burns her with an iron.
This was unbelievable.
Let me say this again. Okay?
Yeah.
I know it's a gimmick. I don't care. Ivory breaks a mirror over Tori's head.
Yep.
Pins her.
Yep.
Then picks up an iron, which is just there and on, and burns her with it.
Yeah, it wasn't Terry Funk's iron. It was
It was like a clothing iron.
Yes.
She takes this iron, which apparently they put red paint on.
Yeah, it's to show a burn, yes.
She puts it on Tori's back. Tori screams. They edit in this bzzz, because I guess they fucking buzz.
I guess skin buzzes when it burns.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Vince irons his own clothes. Kevin Dunn. They don't know what a fucking iron does. So they edit in buzzing, and she screams, and then she's got a big red-ass mark on her back.
And her collar of her buttoned-up shirt that she wore over her thong.
Yeah, sucked.
Now, what does this lead to?
Oh, when you should ask.
So, after these women are brawling naked and throwing tampons at each other, Earl Hebner goes up to China like it's her fault and says, women are causing too much trouble. You are barred from ringside. I'm not making that up. That's what aired on TV.
Yeah.
Yep.
She tells him to fuck off. They were both horrible here. Kane is alone and confused. That was the thing. Triple H versus Mr. Ass. Okay. Hunter's been world champion for 2 weeks.
Yes.
No one's buying it. Not over. He needs credibility. What do you have him do? You put him in there with Mr. Ass, who's been a joke all fucking year. Going back to last December, even.
The bane of your existence, Vinny.
Mr. Ass. And Mr. Ass manhandles him. He gets visual pin after visual pin after visual pin. Hunter escapes by the skin of his teeth, hits his finish, and wins. Are you fucking kidding me? Are they trying?
No, they're not trying.
You know this is, Vinny? This is Triple H trying to be Ric Flair.
Well, I know you do know the flaw in this plan.
Yeah. Flair was over. Flair was great.
Yeah.
Flair was a great worker. He was a great interview. He was a great champion. Hunter's a guy who got the belt way too early. Couldn't even beat Austin for the title.
No.
Had to beat Mankind. Struggling to get over. Mm-hmm. He fucking goes in there and just Billy gets visual pin over visual pin after visual pin.
This is the key. Billy's been a geek all year, up to, and including his King of the Ring win. He's been a clown.
This was horseshit.
Yeah.
And it was bad, and it was boring.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a shit about any of it. Can you imagine nobody cared about Triple H versus Mr. Ass for the WWE title?
Hard to believe. So Hunter wins with the pedigree. Shane's involved in China and whatever. So Kane comes out. He chokeslams China, chokeslams Hunter, chokeslams Shane as the show goes off the air.
I can't hit your music quick enough, so I hope you're ready.
I am. Forgot he was bragging about the speed to hit the music.
Kiss my ass.
The finishes on this show were pin in a tag match after one guy hit his own partner with a sledgehammer. And then it gets amazing. Clean submission. Clean pin, maybe the first back-to-back clean finishes in all of 1999. Third clean pin in a row. Fourth clean pin in a row. Fifth clean pin in a row.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I swear to God. And then pin after interference and a weapon shot, and he pin after all sorts of shenanigans.
There's no way there were 4 straight clean finishes.
5 I counted.
No.
Make him go back and check.
I need to go back.
We'll do it right now.
Vinny, you're right.
No.
Not in the,
Yes,
not in the
yes.
opener. Jarrett beat Jacqueline clean. Edge and Christian beat the Acolytes clean.
No.
Big Show beat Val Venus clean. Test beat the Mean Street Posse clean. And the new Brood beat the Hollies. What the hell happened there?
Ivory and
Hollies beat the new Brood clean. Yeah, they won. They ended up wrestling move and won. And then it was not interference until D'Lo and Steve Blackman.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And there were shitty matches.
That was terrible.
But the finishes were clean.
I can't even believe it. I just want to quit. Goes against everything I believe.
Metro Raw number 329, September 13th, 1999. God, I hated the start of this show.
Oh, you want me to start?
No, I want to go, actually.
Okay, you go first, and I'm going to read exactly what I wrote.
This all happened within like 30 seconds. Taker, Big Show, Viscera, and Midian are all mumbling softly in a hallway. Kane is in a room pacing back and forth. Mankind's walking around looking for something. Rock is walking around just looking cool. The Stooges tell Linda McMahon not to go anywhere, but she says she has family business. A bunch of cop cars arrive. Hunter and China get out. I think the story is everyone wants to kill Hunter.
That is the story, Vinny, and you did a poor job because
Thank you, Bryan.
You gave too many details. By giving so many details, you didn't express to the viewers how fucking boring and repetitive this was. So allow me. Taker and Show have a meeting backstage. They mumble something I cannot hear. Kane is hanging out backstage. Mick Foley is hanging out backstage. Rock is hanging around backstage. Linda is hanging around backstage. These are all separate cuts to show other people hanging around backstage. They're not all hanging out backstage together.
No. They have 19 cameras back there.
So the Stooges are
Show people doing nothing.
telling Linda not to go out there. She says, I must take care of family business. These cops show up. They're hanging out backstage. And yes, they're all looking for Hunter, who shows up with a police backup. And by the way, this is only about 1 minute. The first 10 minutes of this show was this same shit over and over again.
Pretty much.
With the exception of Linda doing a horribly wooden promo in the middle of it.
what? I'm just kidding.
So it was a horrible way to start the show, and then a horrible way to continue the show as Linda came out for her promo. So the future administrator of the Small Business Administration of America is out there talking about how a bunch of dudes deserve, quote, a title, shot at Triple H. Goes on for a while because a five-way tonight, a five-way match with the winner getting a title shot at Unforgiven. That sounds important. That sounds like something where the result of that's going to matter heavily.
Absolutely.
She asks who is going to be champion come Unforgiven time. My most unfavorite holiday season. She says there's one man due contractually for a title rematch, and if he shows up, he'll get a title shot. I thought the way she was wording it, she says if he shows up, he'll get a title shot, which I thought was a clever way of teasing he would be there and not actually promising and thus not delivering.
We need information here from Rob. He's been beckoning to me.
I'm so sorry to disrupt.
Yes.
Vinny was close. It's mnemonic.
Mnemonic.
Yes. Mnemonic is of the lungs or relating to pneumonia. So it is a word, just not the right word.
There
Okay,
you
that's
go.
a win.
That's close enough. Yeah, Rob was beckoning to me for like 5 straight minutes, and I thought there was like something wrong with the show. I thought he was texting me, and
Well,
I didn't
there
get any
is.
text
There
right
was. I got the word wrong.
Yeah.
It's fixed now.
So sorry.
Yeah, well, we got that handled, thank God.
Taker and Big Show. First Hunter comes out, beats up the Stooges.
By the way, Linda was worse than Dasha.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was possible.
No, she's horrible, man.
Oh, my God.
She's
heaven, that's
an
bad.
absolutely wretched public speaker and always has been and always will be. Hunter comes out, beats up the Stooges.
Linda stands there like a statue.
Yes.
Except at one point she goes,
Yeah.
she shook her
You
finger
are
at me.
smiling. That's too much
I am
humanity.
I'm sorry. You know who she looked like?
She looks like a... I've always thought... go ahead.
Probably not very nice, but
That's why I was...
she totally looked like Sam the Eagle on this show. Am
I
the
was
only
going to
one?
say... Not that specific one. She looks like a Muppet bird.
Sam the Eagle!
She doesn't have this sternness. If there's a happy version,
She didn't have the sternness? Are you kidding me?
not a Sam.
Well, I mean, she just had one look on her face, like a puppet.
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
She is a marionette.
Yeah.
So Taker and Big Show come out and rock Mankind and Kane's Pyro, and everyone starts brawling. The only good thing in the first 20 minutes of the show is Rock and Taker brawling in their sunglasses, and neither of them came off. So Rock and Mankind clear the ring. Rock's music plays.
Man. And then we had another, just like the beginning of the show. The cops are trying to hold everybody back. Kane is coming out. Rock and Mankind send Show and take her packing. This was all in that segment. Yeah. Just one thing after another.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes of the show was the most overbooked 10 minutes in wrestling history.
It may have been.
Now, keep in mind, they are all vying for a shot at the WWF World Championship.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy stakes involved. On SmackDown, Jeff Jarrett broke a guitar over the fabulous Moolah's head and put Mae Young in a figure 4.
Do you know how much I'm going to hate from here
till Jarrett leaves?
No, not just the storyline, but on SmackDown.
Oh, I see.
Oh, my God.
Hey, at least they showed it.
They did show it. But, man, this is brutal.
So, Jarrett issues an open challenge to any woman tonight, says he hopes China accepts.
He ranted about broads bitching and challenged any woman tonight if they had the genitalia.
Yeah.
I guess he couldn't think of the name of any female genitalia in particular, and so he just...
Well, not that you say on TV.
Blanket term. You can't say vagina on television. I'm pretty sure it's okay.
I think that one's cleared.
Could have said ovaries, I suppose. Yeah.
Sure.
Shane McMahon arrived.
Yes.
Cole interviews Rock and Mankind.
Yes. Another segment.
Yeah, here, just...
The 40th segment in 12 minutes.
Yes.
We're 12 minutes into the show.
Yes. See, Rock runs down everybody, including Mankind, and walks out. And Mankind, he imitates Rock, but for comedy purposes, he screws it up and says it's up to Rock to kick my ass. What? That's true, but all right. So Jarrett, whose whole gimmick is that he hates women or likes to beat them up, comes out with Deborah and Miss Kitty by his side, and they just smile.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, so at this point in the show, these are not segments, but 17 different things have happened so far.
Yeah.
We're 11 minutes in.
Yeah.
Oh.
He runs down women, says men are the dominant species.
Yeah, Kitty and Deborah just standing there smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Luna Vachon comes bouncing down the ramp.
She was terrible in this match. Wasn't much of a match, but...
It wasn't just this match.
She was terrible.
So Jarrett beats the absolute hell out of her. Ivory runs down, grabs the guitar, hits Luna with it. This makes Luna the winner by DQ.
King is baffled. And why wouldn't he be?
I was going to say.
Why did Ivory attack the woman that Jarrett was wrestling? It was never explained.
I don't know.
It was just a swerve.
I don't care.
I'm sure it'll all be wrapped up in a nice little bow by the end of the week.
No.
I know.
So Jarrett is outraged that he has lost. He starts to bully and manhandle Lillian, who just got hired a few weeks ago. Shoves her down.
Yeah, it didn't take her long to get involved in storylines.
Do you know what this was? Remember when Scott Hudson started doing Nitro just so Rick Steiner could beat him up?
Yes.
I think they hired Lillian just so Jeff Jarrett could beat up a woman ring announcer.
No, because once they beat up Hudson, he was gone. Lillian's still around.
Yeah, that's true.
They just had to beat up a woman.
He beat us up. Lillian puts her in the figure 4. There's that. Much to my surprise, Steve Austin showed up. He's there. Red Rooster interviewed China.
Terry Taylor is an interview guy. He's also as bad as Dasha. I feel bad for all the bad things I've said about Dasha. I thought that she was like, a historically bad.
No,
she's just
another one off the treadmill.
Oh my God,
Another
Terry
one off
Taylor
the
was
assembly
so
line.
bad. He actually could talk to a degree.
He had a
But he
career.
could not conduct an interview.
Yeah.
China, do you think you can win the title at the Unforgiven pay-per-view? No.
Yeah. So China's not impressed by Jarrett beating up old hags and a ring announcer. She vows to win the IC title at Unforgiven and hammer a message to Steve Austin later. So in one sentence, she's both a babyface and a heel.
Yes.
It's almost like the guy writing this show hates women.
Well, that too.
That's exactly what this show was. Even China, who is a woman,
Yes.
is referring to the other women as old hags.
Yeah.
Luna was a babyface the last time we saw her.
I think she meant.
I guess China's a heel.
She's talking about Moolah and May.
Yeah, China's a heel.
But except a face when she's fighting Jeff Jarrett.
I guess, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Like I say, in one sentence, she is both. Howard Finkel's there to do ring announcing.
Thank God.
Yep.
For the moment.
He says, our next contest will be a strap match. At this point, out comes Devon Dudley, as the graphic says, with Ba Ray.
Yeah.
Like he's a sheep.
Yeah. It's supposed to be Ba Ray. Ba ba.
So Devon, Bubba does his stuttering redneck promo. I realize it got him over in ECW, but knowing how great he can be as a promo is such a waste. Devon challenges Farouk to a strap match, even though Howard Finkel had already announced it was a strap match. They did a strap match. They beat each other up for a few minutes. Bubba smashes Farouk with a chair and Devon pins him.
Smashed him. He just gave him a giant, hard, unprotected chair shot to the head.
There are a lot of those on this show, actually.
Vinny's so over.
I'm over the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
I'm over both these shows and everyone involved. Oh, Bradshaw gets a chair and clears the ring. Taker and Big Show do a promo.
Oh my God. Do you remember the promo about the desert
I do.
that the Undertaker cut? And like everybody they remembered it because like, it was so weird. Dude, that's all of his fucking promos.
I think I figured out. He was the dead man forever. He was either a zombie or Satan or some hilariously cartoonish thing. He's trying to find a new character and he's failing.
Is he ever? This promo was so bad that I was begging for him to just die again, so he could talk about druids and
stealing
the
souls.
fucking grave and stealing souls. He cut a promo like Hawk wrote it for him.
Yeah, actually.
Wow.
Just all this bullshit about.
There's references to Pulp Fiction, references to the Crocodile Hunter, references to the leopard pants on the girl in the front row, which we never saw. I don't know if he was making that up or not.
I presume he was making it up. This was bad.
Speaking of, Jim Ross calls out the British Bulldog.
Yeah, first he comes in and he kicks out Howard Finkel. Mm-hmm. Finkel's trying desperately to just be a ring announcer.
Yeah.
They got to get his ass out of there because he's too old.
Make him look like a geek.
Yes.
Yeah, the temerity to get old and lose his hair.
He had no hair in the 70s.
Yes, I didn't. So Jim Ross calls out the British Bulldog, a giant man who somehow still found an oversized suit. God-awful music. Probably a network edit. I don't know. So since we last watched Raw, between SmackDown and Heat and who knows what else, Davey Boy Smith has returned. He won the hardcore title from the Big Boss Man, and then gave it to Al Snow.
Gave it to him.
And yes, gave it to Al Snow.
And do you want to know why he gave it to him?
Why is that, Brian?
Because he says Al Snow deserved it.
Liar! Al Snow doesn't deserve anything.
That's what he said.
I know it's what he said.
Oh, I'll get to Al Snow. Fear not. Actually, I'll get to him right now.
Bulldog's a liar.
First off, for those of you that don't remember, the whole Montreal screw job happened. He went to WCW. He did jack shit.
Fell in a trap door.
Fell in a trap door, almost died. Now he has recovered and returned here to WWE, where he is feuding with the Big Boss Man. He has vowed to become the WWF champion. Big Boss Man interrupted and said, and I quote, "Well, that's not going to happen, dumbass."
That's so hard at that. It's just so dismissive.
So Al Snow comes out, barking, and he proceeds to challenge Davey Boy Smith, or I'm sorry, Big Boss Man.
Actually, he challenged Ray.
Ray, yes, he kept calling him Ray. Hey, Ray. Ray? I challenge you, Ray, to a match. He wants to take the cage, put the Hell in a Cell around it, put fucking dogs in the cage, and have a match. The infamous Kennel from Hell match.
Yep.
Is coming up.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you something, Vinny. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Somebody called Observer Live the other day.
Okay.
And they said, what do you find more appalling? The fact that Daniel Bryan has never in his career had a 5-star match. Keep in mind, Sid has had a 5-star match.
Okay.
Do you find it more appalling that Daniel Bryan has never had a 5-star match, or that Sid won worst on promos in 1999? When I heard that fact, first off, I was fucking appalled that anybody could vote for Sid for worst promos in 1999. It was only a few, 4 weeks ago that Sid did that one promo on Nitro that we watched over and over because it was so good? How do you win worst on promos if you have a promo that good in 1999? And then what really got to me is, how did Al Snow not win?
That's a good question.
How in the fuck did Al Snow not win worst on promos, and these fuckers who voted in the Observer Awards in 1999 gave it to fucking Sid. This is bullshit. This promo fucking sucked. Every promo he's done in 1999 has sucked. Every angle he's done has sucked.
It's amazing.
And I'm pretty sure every match he's done has sucked.
His consistency at being bottom of the barrel is outstanding.
It really is.
You would think by sheer random chance he'd have an okay match once in a while.
Nope.
Or a promo that was fine.
No.
But no, everything sucks.
He barked. He called him Ray. He challenged him to the worst match of 1999. Holy fuck. And he still didn't win worst on interviews. They gave it to Sid.
He warned Boss Man that Rottweilers came out, and Al Snow warned the big Boss Man, these bitches are in heat. So are the female Rottweilers going to rape Ray Traylor? Is that what's going to happen here?
Yeah, that's what he's threatening, Vinny. Hello?
So
That's exactly what he's threatening.
Davey Boy jumped Boss Man from behind like an asshole and got his ass kicked like a geek.
If you buy this pay-per-view, Vinny, these dogs may fuck Al Snow.
Wow.
No, Boss Man.
Either way.
Frankly, neither one's going to get my money.
One way or the other. I mean,
Someone has to lose this, Craig. These are the steps.
Jesus Christ.
That's
This
not the way I
show
remember it going down,
sucks.
if you will.
This show sucks.
Actually, as I recall, they fucked each other.
That's true.
So,
Who? What?
in the kennel from hell,
Yeah, the dogs.
the dogs just like did
dogs
doggy
made-
things.
They made nice.
They were friendly to each other, and then they made a terrible mess.
Yeah.
You ever watch it with the Mick Foley and Kevin Kelly commentary?
Are you kidding me? Why would I ever watch that?
Because
fucking
it's
match
funny.
again? No.
Because they know how much it sucks. They pointed it out. Anyway, this is all fucking horrendous. Just terrible. Cole interviews the Posse and Terry.
Oh my God. I cannot believe what's going on in the show.
Joey Abs cuts a promo on Test. Calls Steph a tramp.
Joey Abs is Stephanie's ex-boyfriend.
Right.
Now tonight he's going to kick Test's ass.
You sound skeptical.
I'm just telling you what happened here.
He warns Terry to stay in the truck where it's safe. EMTs go running backstage and find Shane McMahon laid out.
Shane McMahon has been laid
I
out
forgot about this until I just read the sentence.
backstage. Yes.
Shane McMahon required medical attention due to mysterious but apparently severe injuries.
Yes.
Fink is out there to ring announcing.
Another referee or another announcer.
Tony Chimmel comes out and gets booed because he's not Finkel. He ejects Finkel and gets booed more because Howard Finkel is awesome and everyone knows it except the dipshits in charge of this company.
Because 19 years ago they were still fighting with their fans.
Jesus. Yes.
Kind of like they are now.
God.
That's my point, Craig.
Yeah.
Joey Abs versus Test.
I believe Chimmel and Fink end up having a
No.
tuxedo match.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing they would have done back then.
Yeah, of course.
Abs and Test. They traded power moves for a minute. Test fought off interference and hit a Dr. Bomb for the win.
Okay.
So the Posse jumps Test. He needs help. Who should come sprinting down the ramp?
Don't even say it, Vinny. I'll quit this show. I'm going to quit this show.
It might have been Shane McMahon.
Fuck you.
Shane McMahon.
Shane fucking McMahon came
Jesus
out to
Christ.
save Test?
It's been 10 minutes.
What?
Well, that too.
No, what do you mean it's been 10 minutes?
Test
Fuck
got
that.
laid
Why
out
is he
in the
helping Test? Test is going to marry his sister.
Because Joey Abs called Steph a tramp.
Fuck. This is
And they
such
Test beat him in a match and Shane's honoring the match stipulation.
a load of bullshit.
It's horrible.
It did not make a lick of sense.
No.
But I will say one thing. Earlier I said that the only good thing on this show was Vince McMahon and Steve Austin. I am begging you, Vinny, I know you make a lot of animated GIFs. Anybody listening to this right now, please make me an animated GIF of Shane McMahon running down that fucking ramp. I was behind schedule. I still rewound that at least 5 times. It's the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen. Please gift this for me.
It's like there's panic as he's flailing down to the ring.
It's like, you know when you go to the fair and they got those big bubbles that you can get in and get in the water?
Okay.
Like the hamster balls?
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's in one running down the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not.
I just had a great idea for a gimmick.
Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy. Just get one of them.
Well, Vinny,
Oh no, he's bringing out the thumbtacks. Anyway,
we went to the fair and Paisley was really angry about something. She's 2. She's crying.
Yeah.
She's all angry. I turn her around and I just pointed her to these kids in those bubbles. She was howling at these stupid kids. They're all going upside down on their heads. They're running each other over. She thought this was so funny how dumb they were.
Those are people's children, Brian.
Just telling you.
so how much was the ride?
She didn't go on it. Too little.
I was talking about you.
I went on all the rides.
Okay.
Triple H versus Steve Austin. Both guys come out in street clothes. Hunter says there's a warrant for Austin's arrest, sends the cops out to get him. They cuff him. Hunter begins to punch him with his fists.
I was so mad.
And the cops say, hey, stop.
I was so mad because on SmackDown, Austin tried to kill Triple H by ramming into him with an ambulance or whatever, right?
Sure.
Whatever.
Semi into an ambulance. He tried to kill him.
I honestly, I am over these shows. Hunter made some reference to some vehicular assault. I had no idea what he was talking
Steve
about.
Austin
I don't care.
rammed into his vehicle, tried to kill him.
Okay.
All right. So fine. Austin should be arrested for that. I was like, finally a fucking storyline that makes sense.
Until
They go in there, they cuff the guy, they're about to arrest him for this, and fucking Triple H has to start punching the guy. And the cops are just like, dude, you can't do that. And they let him go, and they keep arresting Steve Austin. I was so angry. Then Linda's on the phone with somebody, and Hunter grabs her phone and tosses it to the ground. He knows he's in trouble.
Godfather versus Chaz.
Oh, here we go again.
So Godfather, Chaz on Heat, politely, maturely
Yes.
announced his relationship with Mariana was over.
It's all over.
Yes.
They've agreed to go their separate ways.
Yes. Godfather says, man, you're very sad. You're too sad for my women. Let's just have an old-fashioned wrestling match. And they shook hands. So they're having an old-fashioned wrestling match when Mariana comes out. She's got sunglasses on. And she goes to take her sunglasses off, and the Godfather blocks the camera.
oops.
All we see is orange. So the story obviously is she has a black eye.
I'll read her lines.
Please.
Why? Why? Chaz, why? Just tell me why.
Tell me why.
No,
right.
Vinny.
So, yeah, now Godfather is now a chivalrous gentleman. Mm-hmm. Cannot tolerate women being treated as objects.
He's a very respectful pimp.
I guess so.
He doesn't beat his hoes.
He certainly does not.
He found out this woman had a black eye. He's got to kick this Chaz's ass.
He beats the fuck out of Chaz, pins him with a DVD. Then he gets up, he's all smiles.
Yep.
He's just over it.
Hey, he solved that problem.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Nothing more to discuss.
Now this
Horrible!
This Chaz was a headbanger.
Yeah.
And then they put him in a pair of boxer shorts and expected him to go get over. And then they made it the storyline that he hit his wife.
No, actually, Craig. He was a headbanger.
Okay.
Then he was in an incestuous relationship with his mother, and they
Oh,
were
I forgot.
cosplaying Leave It to Beaver.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Then he was a regular guy in boxer shorts.
Sure.
Now he's a woman beater.
Actually, before all of that, he was a nun.
You're right. God damn it. It's a hell of a career.
The Stooge is so...
What a resume.
And the end of the story is he still does indie dates to this day.
Dude, he was on SmackDown last year.
That's right.
Stooges tell Linda to go to a hotel.
She won't go.
Apparently,
My family can't run from anyone. I'm staying.
Too much.
on SmackDown, X-Pac dumped Kane, says, I'm holding you back. This is now a junior high love story.
Yeah.
A cage is lowered. Chris Jericho comes out. He runs down Ken Shamrock. Says he's going to bring in a submission shoot fighter and prove what a bad mamma jamma he is, and introduces Gotch Gracie.
The legendary master of disaster, the sultan of shoot fighting, the legendary Gotch Gracie.
Mm-hmm.
A black guy in a mask.
With a shirt that reads Gotch.
Yeah.
There is one person who ever watched the show who thought this segment was funny, and it's Vincent Verhey.
Really?
I laughed at Gotch Gracie. I laughed at Jericho putting him in holds and running him down at the mic at the same time.
So you're the guy.
I am the guy.
This was horrible.
This died a complete death.
Oh, did it ever? You know what this was, though? I got to give the guy credit. He was ahead of his time. This was a 2018 Raw segment in the third hour.
Basically.
Here in 1999.
Yeah.
They are fucking so dead for this. And he just barrels on through. I'm going to get this over.
He's a pro.
So eventually he wins with the Walls of Jericho. Shamrock runs
Don't
out.
have a name yet.
Yeah, Shamrock runs out all pissed, but then Gotch Gracie jumps him. They double team him. It's a trap! Gotch unmasks. It's Mr. Hughes.
By the way, Vinny, speaking of masked men, Mr. Hughes, do you remember on Sunday we were watching NWA?
The Big Green Machine
The
and
Big Green Machine.
El Negro.
I learned a fact today. Do you know who the Big Green Machine was?
Mr. Hughes?
No.
That would be news.
Yeah.
He was Bugsy McGraw.
Wow.
Really?
Yep. And my obvious question was, why wasn't he Bugsy McGraw? Why was he the Big Green Machine?
Great question.
So apparently what happened was he got some sort of shoot job
Jeez.
where he had to be in disguise doing these shows.
Awesome.
So he was the Big Green Machine.
Hey!
Hey, I got to say it was an improvement over the Bugsy McGraw that he was being earlier when we
Yes.
were watching those shows.
Yes. D'Lo gives Godfather some cash backstage. Jericho and Hughes do a backstage promo. Jericho did a backstage promo. Says, this is Mr. Huge. He is there to protect Shamrock from me.
Did you mention, by the way, before that we had Kane is walking, Mankind is walking,
I
Rock
can't-
is walking,
no.
D'Lo's paying off Godfather, and then Jericho does a promo with Gotch Gracie.
I can't keep up all the walkings.
Okay.
All right. A 5-way match with some of the biggest stars in the company, with the winner getting a world championship title shot on pay-per-view.
They
Yes.
called this a free-for-all.
Free for all.
Was it ever?
The Undertaker versus The Big Show versus The Rock versus Mankind versus Kane. So, 3 guys come out and start brawling. The match starts. There's a match going on. 2 guys aren't even there yet. Then Rock comes out. Then Kane comes out. So everyone's just doing this horrible brawl. It's no good at all. And Taker turns and he looks at the referee, the man who will count 1, 2, 3, and declare a winner in this match and declare that man to be the top contender to the world title.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Taker punches him.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Bryan, why?
Fuck if I know, dude. You're asking me?
This was a no-holds-barred free-for-all. And he punched out the only person
Who could give
that
him
could
what
count the
the
pin.
only person who could give him what he wanted.
Hey,
A title shot in Revenge of Hunter.
let's add they sent in three more referees.
Now,
You're
more
right.
referees
You're
in the
right.
ring. Undertaker, at least, as I said, has been Satan and is an evil person. So at least as the fact an evil person did something evil. It's stupid, but it is evil. Then Kane punches one.
Yeah.
The puppy dog he's been for this past 6 months. He just starts punching referees now.
Yep.
I was so done with the show. I hit the timer. I think this has got to be done. They're going to finish the
No, there was like
20 fucking minutes
left.
ago. Ugh.
Tony Gurria's out there. Sergeant Slaughter's out there. Earl Hebner's out there. He just leaves.
So everyone's dead. There's bodies are stacked up like cordwood. Earl Hebner runs out, surveys the scene, turns his back, and runs back up the ramp. This whole fucking thing was done for one stupid sight gag in the middle of a 5-way match to crown a top contender for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, it's a sight gag. It's a sight gag, Vinny, but they're also building something up with these referees, which I can't even remember what it is. It was something, I vaguely remember this. There was something going on in real sports, like in the NFL.
There was a referee strike in.
There was something like
Couple.
that. This was something that related to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Crash Holly's there. Godfather's there. Prince Albert's
All
there.
these geeks run out to die.
Fucking Stevie Richards dressed up like Christian. What the fuck was that? Seriously.
I wondered, why does Christian have brown hair?
Yes.
And he hits the ring and he chokes them and he leaves and someone says, oh, there's Stevie Richards.
What?
I almost rewound,
I didn't.
but
Also, to get him even more over, Chaz ran down and got rock bottomed.
Yeah.
and then they just go to break.
Yeah, it just ended. The show's bad.
The 5-way top contender world championship match ended without a finish.
Yeah.
Because all the referees were deceased.
That's exactly what happened. I don't know what you want me to do about it.
I want you to give me back the 2 hours of my life.
I can't, Vinny.
Wow.
Think about all the hours of my life I want back. I watch way more of this than you do. I watch Raw every Monday.
It's not this bad.
The referees yell at Earl to do
It
something.
can't be this bad.
No.
Some of them are. Not this past Monday.
Consistently, like all 3 hours.
There have been a few shows that have been.
The refs
Dreadful.
are pleading with Earl Hebner to do something to keep them safe.
He's head referee.
All right. Val Venus, a crowd favorite. D'Lo Brown, a good guy, versus Steve Blackman, an evil assassin, and Mark Henry, who betrayed his friend D'Lo for women. Or
Yes.
something, I don't even know.
Yep.
Earl is reffing because he's the only one who can walk. So Mark Henry doesn't come out. So Steve Blackman, the cowardly heel, says, I shall fight these two men on my own.
Yep. 2-on-1.
And the two babyfaces say, we will kick your ass because there's two of us. And they beat him up, and they does fisherman suplex frog splash combo for the win. Blackman gets up, walks out like nothing happened. Don't give a shit. And then it's time for GTV. And GTV shows that Mark Henry was in the back partying with the Godfather's women. And so the story is, not only did the babyfaces take advantage of the opportunity and fight a guy 2-on-1, it was their plan.
Yep.
They were so afraid of a fair fight that they went to a pimp, hired his prostitutes to distract one of their combatants so they could double team the other guy. These are the good guys.
Vinny, it's just a harmless rib.
Especially for Mark Henry. He was enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
There was one winner in the show. It was Mark Henry. A limousine arrives. Hunter's out for like the 80th time. How many times do we see his entrance in the show? So Hunter's coming out with his entrance. He's in street clothes. Chimmel says this is a world title match. Ross and Lawler have no idea what's going on. Hunter calls out Linda. He says Steve Austin was arrested. That means he has forfeited his title shot. You must agree to this. She will not agree to this. Hunter begins to manhandle her until a very angry Vince McMahon storms out.
Let's not jump forward too far. He says, I need you to tell the world that Austin, after being arrested, has blown his chance. And he is now at the bottom of the ladder and he needs to work his way back up. No. I'm being Linda. No. He says, I'm not asking. I'm telling you. She says, no. No. For some reason, she has to say it twice. I don't know why I found this actually malfunction. He says, you've got to say it. She goes,
Somebody put
no.
water on her. Yeah.
No. I crack myself up doing it.
God.
She's so horrible. So finally he grabbed her. She's probably still going, no.
So out comes Vince. He says, I promise to stay out of this business, but this isn't business, this is personal.
Show has just broken me.
Now, this is the only time I saw any personality on Linda McMahon. When he fired up and started going into all Vince mode, there was a twinkle in her eye.
Oh,
Babe,
You saw it too, didn't you, Rob?
babe.
She
Still
was
married, man.
She was into it.
She's put up with a lot of shit. She must like something. Anyway, they're about to fight.
he grabs the mic and says, I gave my word I'd never interfere in WWE business, but this isn't business, it's personal. So listen up, you son of a bitch!
And then Linda bit her bottom lip.
And says, you're the WWE champion, but maybe you need a reminder about who gave you that opportunity. And then Austin's music hits.
I'm sorry, whose music hits?
Steve Austin.
Because last time we saw him, which wasn't that long ago, he was handcuffed and being taken away by police officers to prison.
Well, he
Well,
made bail.
clearly Vince McMahon made a call.
Somebody made bail. So Austin runs out in street clothes. He's brawling with Hunter. There's a referee out there, and the bell rings, and I spent the next 10 minutes trying to figure out if this was a valid World Championship title match or not. No one knew!
Well, actually, no. The announcers did say, that's the bell. Actually, this I swear to God, this is what they said, okay?
Go ahead.
They said, the bell rang. I don't know if Austin heard it. He's in the middle of the goddamn ring. What do you mean you don't know if he heard it? So the storyline was supposed to be that he didn't hear it.
At one point, the announcer said this is a world title match, and then at another point, they said this is not a world title match.
Well, they clearly didn't know what the hell was going on. But I'll tell you what did happen. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the fucking geek of the week, disqualified himself in his own world title match.
Are we sure?
Maybe.
Yes. Yes.
Let me hang on here.
No, he disqualified himself, and he shoved down the referee.
That
who
didn't
then
happen.
later rang the bell.
Earl pulled the chair away. Austin decked him.
Yeah.
They brought him the ramp. The bell rang.
Yes, disqualification.
There was no announcement.
It doesn't matter.
The bell rang once and the bell rang later.
Yes, so this was a disqualification and or no contest, but Austin did not leave with the title.
So as the music plays, the cage is back down again for what the fuck ever. Lawler says, "I think Hunter is still champion," and that's how it went off the air. I think Hunter is still the world champion.
Hey, listen, Austin was great. This was everything we talk about every fucking week on this show. The moment Austin came out at the end of the show, it was like a totally different wrestling show.
Yep.
This was the real shit.
Well, it was.
And the fans reacted to it like it was the real deal. They reacted to Austin like he was the fucking champion of the world, even though he wasn't. They were totally into this, completely unlike all of the other bullshit on the show, which, by the way, goes to show you that what they said is true. Vince just let Vince Russo do whatever he wanted on the undercard, but he was in charge of that main event. And it's fucking glaringly obvious when you watch these shows. Thank God he is leaving.
Extra Attitude was 10 minutes of Austin drinking beer and stuttering Hunter.
Maybe I didn't watch it.
The finishes on this show... Oh, yeah, music.
Oh, my God.
I'm
music.
in such a hurry to get through this, I don't even care. Craig, if you want to hum something, or maybe
They're right here, dude.
you play the spoons. The finishes on this show were DQ in a minute due to guitar shot, pin after chair shot in a minute or two, clean pin, clean submission in a match that may have been a work, no finish in a 5-way match to name a top contender, clean pin in a de facto handicap match, no finish or DQ or whatever in what may or may not have been a world title match.
Yeah. That's what happened.
I'm not sure that was not the better show. Probably worse. Nitro's,
Dude, Nitro was 1,000 times better than that
Nitro
piece of
probably
shit.
better.
Are you kidding me?
I watched Nitro last.
The
It was a
fuck show were you watching?
bad mood about Nitro.
So
when I
you
was
were
driving
tired,
over.
is what you're
I'm so fucking tired.
The Raw show I thought started out really good and then was just a chore by the end.
I watched Raw on Friday, so 4 days ago, maybe 5 days ago, whatever that is. And I sat down here and I realized I remembered almost nothing.
I don't remember anything right now. I just shut the show off.
I was going back over my notes. I see things like, this is pure chaos. I can't keep track of what's happening.
Yeah.
Too much going on.
Yeah, last week I thought it was really funny, so I wrote down 8 things that happened in succession.
Yes.
I gave up this week. It's just a bunch of guys do a bunch of shit. A bunch of guys do a bunch of shit.
A lot of walking around.
Bunch of guys.
Tons of walking around.
A bunch of shit happens, I wrote.
Yeah.
None of it meant a thing. There was not a point to any of it. It was just we got to make sure that in a 2-hour show we have 90 segments.
Yes.
So if we only have 89, someone's got to be walking around. Now we hit our quota. Let's get this fucking Raw show over with. I cannot wait for this guy to leave. Because you know what? As has been mentioned many times, Vince was always in charge of his own stuff. This Vince
McMahon.
Russo was not in charge of Vince McMahon, Steve Austin, etc., etc.
Yes.
So the opening segment on this show, after we'll get into what happened on SmackDown in a second, but the opening segment on the show with Vince and Austin and Hunter and the build to Unforgiven, I thought, this is a great fucking segment. He's got to be gone. He's not gone. But the point is, the stuff that Vince is, hands-on with is actually really good. Mm-hmm. The Vince Russo bullshit is just can we just get done with it now?
But that's 3/4 of the show.
It is. But my point is, that would mean that in 3 weeks, when he's gone, this show is going to improve dramatically.
We've been holding out hope for that. Easy for me to say.
Now, the problem is, Nitro had been bad, but not terrible.
Yes.
And I was praying for somebody to come along to make it terrible so it'd at least be funny.
Your best line was, Raw needs to get better and Nitro needs to get worse.
Yeah.
Because it's true.
Well, it was true. Mm-hmm. Because then we got this week's Nitro, which actually was a pretty good show.
Things considered, yeah.
And that suggests to me that next week's going to be a pretty good show. And then the week after is going to be a pretty good show. And then he's going to show up and ruin everything. So now I'm a little depressed. But hey, let's just follow history.
Okay.
Watch it unfold.
WWF Monday Night Raw number 330, September 20th, 1999. So on that newfangled SmackDown show, Triple H challenged Vince McMahon to a match, berated him, belittled him, finally put his world title on the line. And Vince accepted. Hunter beat his ass and was about to pedigree him when Steve Austin arrived, stunned Hunter, put Vince on top, and Vince McMahon is your new World Heavyweight Champion.
I realize that's the most important stuff, Vinny, but let's not bury the lead. In one segment, Vince McMahon... Well, first off, Hunter grabs a chair. He tries to give his future father-in-law CTE. He hits him so fucking hard in the head with this chair.
I forget all the stuff he did.
Then he threatens, and I am not making this up, he threatens to fuck his future mother-in-law all night long.
Wow.
Both of those things happened in this segment.
That is true.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. This is just creepy and weird.
Could have been vice versa. Then it'd be more creepy.
I mean, now this guy's running NXT and
Beat up Linda and fuck Vince.
all his NXT guys get called up and ruined, and then I look
Goddamn.
back in history and Hunter's trying to kill the guy.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
So at this point, WWF World Heavyweight Champion Vince McMahon came out in his suit with the world title belt over his shirt and pants, but under his blazer so he could do the big reveal.
Yeah.
That was great.
awesome.
His dream come true.
It really was. Said this proved anything could happen in the WWF. But he noted his contract stipulated he was prohibited from taking part in day-to-day activities, so of course he could not be champion. He had no choice but to relinquish the title and make it vacant. Said the winner of the six-pack challenge at the pay-per-view on Sunday. Yes, there's a pay-per-view Sunday.
Yeah.
And there's a six-pack challenge on it. Winner of that match will now be the new world champion. Out comes Steve Austin. Says, I always hated you, but I gotta admit this place had not been the same without him. Says, you're stepping out of this six-pack challenge. I want in. And Vince repeated himself. I can't handle day-to-day operations. I can't do that.
So, by the way, just to clear this up for everybody, because I was confused until it was later explained. There's a six-pack challenge.
With 5 guys.
No, there were 6. One of them was the champion.
Oh, okay.
So Hunter was in the six-pack challenge. But then when Vince beat him for the title, I guess Vince replaced him in the six-pack challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Vince is relinquishing the title, it is a six-pack challenge with 5 men.
Okay.
That's what's going
And
on.
Vince can't be in it.
Yes.
So there's an open spot.
Yes.
So Hunter says, put me in the match or someone in your family is leaving on a stretcher. Shane comes out and says, Hunter will never hurt a McMahon again. Wrong.
Yeah.
Shane books himself and Vince versus Hunter in China. Vince is caught off guard by this announcement. Austin tells him to grow a pair and take his company back. So Vince, for like the third time, in great detail, repeats himself, says, look, you beat The Undertaker. Based on the contract you and I both agreed to, I can't run the company anymore. So Austin says, if you and your dumbass lawyers had read this contract, you would see in the fine print, I could reinstate you at any point, and I will reinstate you if you put me in the match. So Vince says, you got a deal. And that's it. Vince is back in charge now.
This is all very convenient.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Hey, at least they explained why he came back. I still
It's
don't
true.
know why the Mean Street Posse came back after they lost a Loser Leaves Town match.
And that's also true.
At least they could have said that was in another town. Something.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
They're barred from Bismarck.
Exactly. The Raw was in Bismarck. They lost. They had to leave Bismarck. And now
then
they're
go
in
back.
San Jose.
Yeah, yeah. So Vince did not. Vince put Hunter in the six-pack match because he wants 5 guys to beat Hunter's ass. Says Austin will face the winner of that match, so Austin's happy about that. And he also made Austin the special enforcer in Unforgiven. And you were right. This was a great segment.
It was very good.
Everyone was great. Everything made sense. Everything had a point.
Logical. Everything tied together.
Yes.
Made sense of everything. I had to think a little bit, but that's okay.
The only thing I didn't like is they probably said it somewhere along the lines here, but I was so busy writing other stuff down. It wasn't until the end of the show I realized who all 6 guys in this match were. A simple graphic would have helped.
Yeah.
The Rock arrived at the building.
I loved this segment. I loved it.
I will cut to the chase.
No, hold on.
Okay.
I don't want to cut to the chase.
Okay, drag it out.
I love this segment because nowadays in WWE, everybody has to always do the same thing all the time.
Yes.
Every Elias segment is exactly the fucking same, okay? So The Rock shows up, and there's a little old lady, police officer. She surely carries a very large firearm, because she's smaller than Marco
I'm
Stunt.
guessing so, yeah.
And it's her birthday today.
Louise.
And The Rock is trying... Everything that he does is a setup line for himself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little old lady, and it's her birthday.
He has to behave.
And so he is forcing himself to not bury her at every turn. He gives her $100, asks what her name is. He eventually
Sings her a
song. Yeah. And finally, he almost cracks. But at the end of the day, she leaves unscathed. And do you know what was even better than this? Rock wanted so badly. He wanted so badly to hit her with one of his lines. Mm-hmm. But cock-blocked, basically. It just didn't happen. So...
Phrasing.
He left this little segment here needing to get one of his lines out, if you know what I mean. There's another term I could use, but... So anyway...
Please don't.
The point of this, Vinny,
It's a cute little old
is
lady.
that like an hour later in the show, Michael Cole gets to bring her up,
Right.
and The Rock gets to go, what was her name again? And this fucking idiot Michael Cole begins to say her name, and Rock does the loudest, it doesn't matter what her name is, you've ever seen to poor Michael Cole. This spot was built up for an hour. It was fine. And the punchline was Michael Cole.
Yes.
This was the greatest Rock moment in his career.
Some things never change.
I loved it.
This was the first time The Rock was ever nice to anyone.
Yep.
So Mankind's in the boiler room.
This is where I just wrote a bunch of people do shit. Sometimes twice.
This show went off the rails here to not recover, I think, until the very end.
Nope.
So Undertaker and his crew are in the hallway. He sends Viscera and Midian and his ridiculous new gear.
He's got a vinyl onesie
Yeah.
with a deranged Mike Wazowski on the front of it.
I don't know who that is.
Monsters, Inc.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
I just thought he looked like Giant Leaf Cassidy. And I can't think of anything sadder than trying to imitate Al Snow. So they go in to fight Al in the boiler room. He beats them up, but then they eventually overwhelm him, drag him out. Big Show grabs him. They go to break. During the break, The Rock makes a save. Yeehaw. And a Jericho Shamrock video package. The refs are on strike outside. Chris Jericho versus Mr. Ass.
Oh, God. It took a long time to get to this match.
Mr. Ass comes out. His music's playing. The camera's on him. All the whole world's looking at him. He chooses this moment to bend over and stroke his taint. I'm not making this up.
No, he reached down between his
He
legs.
gave himself a reach around, basically.
Or reach under.
Reach under, yeah.
And through.
More accurate. Yeah. So Tom Pritchard...
All I noticed was Chris Jericho trying to run the ropes in this giant ring. He's trying so hard. I was not scoping out Billy's taint.
How can you not? It was right there.
I was just watching the wrestling.
It's in HD, for God's sake.
He
No,
gave
it's
a-
not. It's
he gave-
standard
It's
definition.
not.
He gave a penthouse-style pose.
Can we move on here?
It's-
No, I'm scarred.
Poor Jericho's used to these 18-foot rings. Now he's in a 20-foot ring. There's an extra 2 feet he's got to run. And he's in there with Billy Gunn, who's bigger than anyone he's ever wrestled before, probably. He's trying so hard to make it across that ring.
So Billy's making his comeback. Mr. Hughes yanks him outside. DDTs him on the cement.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume Billy Gunn is not seen for the rest of 1999.
No, of course not. I'm sure he was...
Oh, yeah, SmackDown. Jericho put him in the walls for the win.
Yeah, so Jericho's first match on Raw, he wins, but it was actually Mr. Hughes that did all the work.
Yeah,
The
right.
big guy. Yeah.
They finally named his Walls of Jericho as well.
That's right. This was the first week they called it the Walls of Jericho.
Michael Cole is interviewing Mankind backstage. Mankind challenges Taker and Show to a tag title match tonight. And at this point, The Rock arrived.
Was it you, Vinny, that was telling the story about the Walls of Jericho, how he did the Lion Tamer in WWE, but then in WWF he found the guys didn't bend like that?
I think you said that. I think I heard him just say that he realized he could do it like a normal Boston Crab and still get the same reaction.
I see. My point was, no shit, Billy didn't bend like that.
Right.
Maybe if he'd worked with some more flexible guys for a few months, he'd still be doing that lion tamer today.
It could be.
Put him in there with this big, giant, square guy.
So The Rock shows up, and he does every Rock promo you've ever seen, and it was just as great as all the other ones. If it's most famous because this is where he talked trash in his sleep. But it's The Rock, and he does the same thing every week, and it's awesome every week, and it's amazing. It's followed by an Undertaker and Big Show promo, in which The Undertaker, for the second week in a row, quotes Pulp Fiction, and then accuses The Rock of having others write his material.
Yeah.
Hypocrite.
Well, the difference is he quoted Pulp Fiction, and Rock has comedy writers doing his material.
Undertaker is Quentin Tarantino.
Well, it's okay to copy, like, cool shit. But some comedy guy writing your promos,
I see.
it's disgraceful.
So they accepted the tag title match, but said it would be Dark Side Rules.
Yeah.
He had a surprise for them. Ivory comes out for a promo. Says Houston is full of animal piss and rats and cockroaches.
She'd know she runs an animal house.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
A fraternity?
Not like that, you idiot.
I would go back to school if Ivory was running a fraternity.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not an animal house. It's
Yeah.
like a animal clinic.
Shelter.
Shelter, yeah.
Sanctuary, if you will.
Not a sanctuary. It's a shelter.
So she accepts Luna's challenge for a title match in Unforgiven, then challenges a fan to fight her.
Oh, my God. So dumb.
Yeah.
They're in legitimately a 12,000-seat building that's sold out. There's like 11,968 people in there, something like that.
Right.
Ivory gets in the ring. She looks around. She immediately says, "Hey, I want you in the ring." 12,000 people. And she goes, "I want you." And that's the one that just happens to be Luna.
What are the odds?
Well,
0. 1 in 11,968 or whatever. She should be
I think
playing the
back
lottery.
row.
It's
Narrowed down to a couple
preposterous.
hundred.
No, you
So
could have said the back row.
I'm saying she was not going to point to someone in the back row, had them coming down
Hey, you could have.
sections.
If you wanted to rib somebody.
The viewer.
Yeah. Like if you're going to fight somebody, Vinny, out of the crowd, you should choose
I'm not
someone
picking Luna.
way the hell up there. So they got to come all the way down the stairs.
You can have time to get to your car.
Yep. Weave through people, slap hands. By the time they jump the rail, they're all blown up. Then you beat them. You don't grab somebody out of the front row.
Put some thought into this.
Well, it's just common sense, Vinny.
Let's see.
He's a small wrestler.
It's common sense.
Anyway, Luna beat Ivory with a DDT in 30 seconds.
Jiu-jitsu.
I can't wait to see them fight again at the pay-per-view now.
You wear them out, then you beat them.
Cole interviewed D'Lo. So D'Lo is burying Mark Henry. And if you just listen to him, it's just a standard one wrestler burying another promo. But if you watch him, and especially the look at his body and his eyes, he is going to get jumped from behind, and he knows it.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
And he doesn't trust the guy?
No. And why should he? Mark Henry clobbers him, beats him with a bunch of furniture, and leaves. Vince and Shane were preparing for their match. D'Lo got into a car and left.
Shane is so excited. I wanted to strangle him.
Oh, God. He's like, "Dad. Hey, Dad. 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 Hey, Dad."
Remember the
The little
like-
dog.
It'll be okay.
The little dog with the bigger dog.
that too?
Hey, Spike, you want to go get us a cat?
I'm
I
gonna
was
do my
thinking of-
best.
Yeah.
Hunter and Sean doing Vince and Shane, and Sean was Shane. And
Oh,
did
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Pops. Red Rooster interviewed Test and Stephanie. So Test said Jeff Jarrett has put his hands on Steph and challenged him to a street fight. Jarrett steps up, challenges them to a mixed tag instead. Steph accepts before Test can say
Steph
anything.
is so excited to be in this match. This character sucks. She has no fear of getting in the ring with these guys. She's all excited. She sells nothing. Like, literally nothing has changed in 19 years.
Yes. The Dudley Boys versus the New Brood, and the real stars of this entire episode of Raw, the Acolytes.
No.
The Acolytes come out to do commentary.
Oh, I don't know.
It's not in this match, but we'll get to the start of the show here in a while.
So they're running down the Dudley Boys. The Dudley Boys, Devon did his promo. Thou shalt not steal, that shall not kill, and thou shall not mess with the Dudley Boys, because now they're in WWF. So Bradshaw delivers the Acolytes' 3 commandments. Thou shalt not drink our beer.
Yep.
Thou shalt not mess with our rats.
Yeah.
And number 3, I guess Public Enemy didn't tell them, thou shalt not cut a promo on the Acolytes. He also called them the Dud Boys.
Yeah.
Star rating jokes in 1999. So I'm laughing my ass off at all this. As for the match, Stevie Richards is there. He is dressed like a Dudley for Christ knows what reason.
That's why he was dressed like Christian last week. He's stealing everybody's gimmicks.
I see. He's a cosplayer
Sure.
in 1999.
So Gangrel's beating his ass, and Jeff gets powerbombed on the floor. Matt gets pinned with a 3D. The Acolytes brawl with the Dudleys. Gangrel brawls with the Hardys. Stevie's there. What the fuck?
Bullshit.
There's a lot going on in this match.
Jeff Jarrett put Janet the makeup girl in a figure four.
I mean, did you even tell anybody who won?
I think I did.
All right, well, Bubba killed Jeff with a powerbomb outside. Dudley's hit Matt with a 3D.
Right.
Then we had a brawl. Then Farouk tried to kill Stevie with a Dominator, which may have just been Stevie's fault for all I know. Because I've
Looked like
seen
it.
Farouk hit the Dominator just fine many times, and it was out of control.
He hits one at some point in this year on Joey Abs, where Abs landed on his face, and we watched it in slow-mo over and over again. I hope it's on Raw. It's probably on one of the other shows.
There's so much stuff that was actually on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I've just
Or
been
he-
waiting
he's
for
still
Vince
around.
to win that title, and then he wins it on SmackDown.
Yes.
And then they show like a minute of clips from SmackDown every week, so we are all missing 2 hours worth of stuff.
Yes.
And think about how much shit they put on these shows.
So after the break, they replay Jarrett putting Janet the makeup girl in a figure four.
Excuse me, did you say Jeff put the makeup lady in the figure four?
I did.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that they were backstage, and Deborah's having her makeup done,
Right.
and Jeff says, we got to get to the ring, and she's dilly-dallying,
Right.
and Janet the makeup lady tells him to chill out, and so he attacks Janet the makeup lady.
Yeah.
He throws her to the ground,
Right.
and he puts her in a figure four leg lock, attempting to break her leg.
A debilitating, crippling move.
Okay, just checking.
Yes.
By the way, thus slowing them down even more.
Counterproductive, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is the real problem.
I mean, Deborah was blowing off that their match was up next.
She
So-
wasn't going to wrestle anyway.
Not that she should be beaten.
They
I'm
had
just
a-
pointing out.
a recap of all the women Jarrett had attacked, including Cindy Margolis, who had forgotten was a thing.
I didn't.
We had Jeff Jarrett and Deborah versus Test and Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie looks 12 years old. I mean, they're clearly dressing her up to look like that, but dude.
So Jeff tries to tag out, but now Deborah pulls away. So Test lays him out with a meltdown and a top rope elbow and tags in Steph so she can get the pin.
Yeah, by the way, that's the match.
Yeah.
Tess went in there, he beat up Jeff Jarrett for a little bit, and then he hit a flying elbow, and Stephanie pinned Jeff Jarrett. Mm-hmm. Do you realize that Sunday is Jeff Jarrett versus China for the Intercontinental title?
Yes.
Who the fuck could possibly care after this match?
Well, he's going to be gone after that.
Who could possibly care?
Of course, he shows up
After
at
that.
WCW.
I don't know. He doesn't leave till November.
Sure about
It
that?
was after Survivor Series.
Okay.
Jarrett?
Yeah. Almost positive.
They might do a rematch.
But the point of this
maybe.
is, like, why would you do this finish right before China's going to pin a man to win the title? This
Because
is ridiculous.
making your daughter look like a star is more important than making money, as we have seen over the past 2 decades. So Jarrett, by the way, Deborah walks out on Jeff in the match, but doesn't leave. She hangs out. So Jarrett puts her dumb ass in the figure four.
Well, she was hanging out.
We got like 9 clips of people walking places.
Yeah, they were walking all over the place.
It'd be easier if they just had like treadmills and everyone just got on them.
Sure.
Taker had a secret meeting with Kane, which we could see, so I guess it wasn't that secret.
Oh, goddamn, it was Unforgiven. I thought he stayed through Survivor Series, but it was actually Unforgiven, and then he leaves. So yeah, that was it.
And goes to WCW.
Yeah, they beat him on the way out again.
Because when you look on the network, it has the, December, November at the top. Jeff Jarrett's like on one of the pictures.
Rock and Mankind versus Taker and Big Show in a Dark Side Rules match.
I apologize. Let me repeat this. So it's only September 18th. So he stays through No Mercy.
Okay,
So he's actually here for 4 more weeks.
got it.
Yeah.
That's right, because his last match is the Good Housekeeping match.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God, I remember that.
But against China, though, right?
Yeah, pretty sure it's against China again.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. The Dark Side Rules match. It turns out no one knew what this match was, but the good guys accepted it and all that. Anyone Taker wants to wrestle in the match can wrestle in the match. So it ends up being Big Show, Viscera, and Midian in his ridiculous new gear.
All right, so this, Vinny, the star of the show is The Undertaker.
Okay.
Doing commentary. I've said this before. I stand by it. I want this guy doing commentary on Raw and SmackDown. Because you know what? I don't even give a shit if it's a 3-person booth. who is going to talk over the Undertaker?
That's true.
Who's going to make fun of the Undertaker?
Yeah.
Who's going to like call him an idiot, make him look stupid? He's going to run the fucking show. And he's totally in whatever his character is now. I don't even know what it is. I guess he's still kind of a dead man.
Sort of dead.
He likes the dark side, but he's also halfway biker taker.
He likes the dark side.
He has a sense of humor now.
He's like a resurrected dead guy now. He's living now. Okay, so he's doing commentary.
He's in Shaun of the Dead instead of Day of the Dead.
He's doing commentary, and he's totally in character.
Good geek reference. Man.
So first, Undertaker explains the dark side rules are that everybody who believes in the dark side is in this match. I was like, well, why aren't you in the fucking match then? Right?
Ozzy comes out.
That doesn't even make sense. So they do this match. They're beating each other up. Another question, by the way. Why does Viscera wrestle in a giant patent leather trench
I
coat?
have no idea.
Why did he take that shit
It
off?
must be 150 degrees in
He's
there.
got to be hot. What, he's too fat to wear a
That's
singlet?
why he ended up being naked Midian.
Dude,
Viscera.
we're talking about Viscera.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
So Kane comes out, and Undertaker's all excited because clearly he's a surprise. And Kane hits a diving headbutt on the Big Show, and Undertaker on commentary goes, huh. That's his commentary.
Yeah, he was mad.
He just goes, huh. Just grunts. Kane then goes after Show. Undertaker starts saying the following words. That's it. He's gonna pay. Rock goes for the rock bottom on Midian. No, says the Undertaker. Rock hits a people's elbow. Someone's gonna pay for this. They're just, it's every cartoon, bad guy, goofy line, all delivered by the Undertaker. In character.
Yes.
It's fucking amazing. If I had time, I would have watched this whole fucking thing over again, just to listen to all of the hilarious lines that this guy spout out. He was so great.
So eventually, Rock pins Midian with a people's elbow to win the tag team titles.
And by the way, when Rock hits the rock bottom on Midian, Undertaker has plenty of time to fucking hit the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now the Rock has to go for the people's elbow. This is not done quickly. He stands over the guy. He kicks his damn arm out of the way. He goes like this with his arms. He hits the one ropes. He hits the other ropes. He stands over and does a flourish. He drops the fucking elbow. Okay? Undertaker does not hit the ring. When Rock hits the rock bottom, Undertaker's response is, better get off your back, boy. That's what he said. Did not get off his back.
No.
He was pinned.
Yeah.
Now Undertaker is furious. Someone is going to pay for this.
So as far as the actual wrestling match, it was a complete mess from bell to bell, but my God, did it make the people happy. Just an unreal ovation. Red Rooster interviewed Mariana.
I was so furious during this segment.
Well, you should have been for many reasons.
Mariana got her face all made up.
Mariana had lipstick on her face, which they claimed was a bruise.
Sure, yeah.
Has no one in this company ever bruised themselves, stubbed their toe? Do you know what a bruise looks like?
Probably not in the office.
Point of this is she's allegedly been beaten up.
Yeah.
Recently.
And by the way, why do they make her do this? She can't believably do it. She doesn't believe it. Thus, we can't believe it. It's just so stupid. So anyway, Chaz shows up. What's going on, he says. They're teasing that he beat her up. A bunch of cops show up. They arrest Chaz.
In his boxer shorts.
Now, am I fucking mistaken? Or did Jeff Jarrett attack the goddamn fucking makeup lady, throw her ass onto the cement, and put her in a leg-breaking hold on fucking camera? Did that not happen?
That happened.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Did he also not beat up Deborah on national television and try to break her leg?
Also.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now we've got a he said, she said. Mm-hmm. We have no evidence that Chaz did anything wrong. Mm-hmm. Nothing's been videotaped. Nothing's been shown on the USA Network. It's a girl with what appears to be a very bad makeup job accusing a guy, claiming he's innocent, and there's zero evidence. And the whole police force of whatever town they're in shows up to arrest this guy. I need to do something different with my life. I hate professional wrestling. It's dumb, and it makes me feel stupid. Fuck this show.
There's the tweet of the year right there.
It makes me feel stupid.
It's dumb and it makes me feel stupid.
This coming after Hell in a Cell was just too much for me.
Well, this next segment then. Steve Blackman versus Sean Stasiak. But first, Taker must send his men to find The Rock or Kane or whatever. But first, Val Venus must also come out because everything has to happen at once in this show.
See, the only reason Val was out there is because there was no charisma in the ring at all.
Hey, did you know that Raw doubled Nitro in every segment?
What?
Including this one?
So Val comes out. He's got Steve Blackman's bag of weapons. And every 30 seconds, the announcers must mention, hey, there's some buzzing in there. Like they didn't mention it 30 seconds ago. Like they forgot and noticed again.
Like your phone when we do this show.
Kinda.
Yeah.
So eventually, in the middle of the match, Blackman goes to get his bag of weapons back. He opens the bag. He pulls out what I guess is supposed to be a vibrator.
Sure.
That's what they said.
He is
That's what Lawler said.
Well, he would know.
Of all the people that, well, Val, at least in his gimmick. Blackman's not surprised or confused. He's horrified.
Well, you don't know what that's been.
That's a fair point. I hadn't thought of that. So Sean has this schoolboy. Harvey Whippleman fast counts him. Why? I don't know. And that's the end. Taker is backstage. Vince and Shane are backstage. Taker comes out and calls out Kane. Kane comes out, but everyone swarms him and jumps him. They douse him with gasoline. They are prepared to light him on fire and murder him. But Mankind and Rock make the save with baseball bats.
It's very nice of them to make the save for Kane.
I don't even know anymore. Earlier today, Al Snow gave Pepper a burial outside the cemetery. And apparently Boss Man got word of this, traveled to wherever the cemetery was, and pissed on the grave.
Yeah.
What were you saying about this being stupid and making you feel dumb?
Hey, at least there's logic in this one. Boss Man's rubbing in the guy's face. He ate his dog, now he's going to piss on the dog's grave.
Boss Man comes out for a promo. Holly's interrupt.
Oh, my God.
Bob.
Holly makes another dick joke.
Yeah.
But at least he did not threaten to fuck someone in his own family, so that's a positive here.
Said he had seen Boss Man's tiny dick backstage. This led to Boss Man versus Hardcore
What a
Holly.
creep.
Meat gazer.
I believe I once heard Honky Tonk Man use the phrase pecker checker.
I've heard that recently as well.
Yeah. So Boss Man and Holly are doing this nothing happened in this match and this nothing happened in the show, and then Bob takes a pitcher of Kool-Aid and breaks it over the big Boss Man's face.
Yeah, not his head.
Face.
His eyeballs all cut open.
Swollen shut by the
Bleeding
end
all
of this.
everywhere.
What the fuck? I have no idea how Boss Man survived. He hit the Boss Man slam. At this point, Al Snow is in the video showing dogs attack a dummy. Not himself, another dummy.
Right.
Boss Man handcuffs Bob to the rope. Look, this is all happening. Boss Man, after having a pitcher smash in his face and watching a video of dogs attack a dummy, handcuffs Bob Holly to the ropes. At this point, Crash hits Boss Man with a wrench and Bob pins him.
Yeah.
While he's handcuffed, by the way.
There's a documentary that's online of the Hell in a Cell 20 years ago. Got commentary from Mick Foley, got out-of-character comments from The Undertaker, what he was thinking during the match. And you just watch it, and you watch this fucking show with the glass. It just hammers home they did not give a flying fuck about anybody.
No.
And Dave and I are just talking last night about the concussion lawsuits that all got dismissed against WWE. And it's like, I know they were all dismissed, but like, how the fuck can you leave this shit on the WWE network?
That's a good question.
It's the balls of these people. You watch that Hell in a Cell, and Mankind goddamn near dying twice. They just, they trot him back out there. Goes back up, gets almost killed again. Just trot him back out there. Just keep working, dude. He wanted to work, they let him work. Guy could have died twice. They're talking... Here's something that I never even realized before about that match. So as everybody should be well aware by now, the top of the Hell in a Cell was gimmicked. So the idea was, when Mankind got choke slammed on top of the cell the second time, it was supposed to bow down and slowly break, and he would tumble down into the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He was not supposed to go through it like butter. So, two things I'd never really thought about before. The first, Undertaker mentioned. He goes, I was standing on another panel.
Yeah.
So, if I'd been standing on the same panel,
Oh, yeah.
we both would have gone through. He not only would have fallen down and probably killed himself, but I would have fallen on top of him.
Yes.
And
That's
probably-
number one.
And probably broken both of his legs.
Number two, which I never even noticed before. But so Mankind gets thrown off the fucking cell and he crashes and burns and like his shoulders all fucked up and he just fell 18 feet or whatever the actual height was on his cement. He like went right through the table of the cement. They start stretching him. He can't remember anything.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the show, when the match is over, he has to ask the referee, have I gone out on a stretcher yet tonight? The ref has to tell him, yeah, you did. That's why you walked out. He goes, I cannot go out on a stretcher twice in one night. Mm-hmm. So anyway, this guy's half dead. He's fat, right?
Yes.
So he already had to climb this cage once. Mm-hmm. He got thrown off. He's fucking exhausted. So by the time he gets up on top of that cell the second time with a bad shoulder, like he's completely spent, okay? So the Undertaker goes to give him that choke slam. He's so damn tired, he can barely jump. So if you watch it, like, he gets like a foot off the ground and then crashes and goes right through that goddamn thing. So he mentions, like, if I hadn't been so tired, I'd have gone up. You watch every Undertaker chokeslam he's ever given me, I go up for him. But I was so tired I couldn't go up. He goes, if I would have gone up for him and gone through that thing, like, because of the way that you go up, he would have rotated such that when he went through the top, he'd have landed right on top of his head.
Yeah.
He would have just kept rotating. If you watch it, he can't really go up, and so he kind of gets chokeslammed sort of on his ass, and it's so far down that he continues rotating and lands like high on his shoulders. So he should have died in this Hell in a Cell match, but luckily he didn't. And what happened when he landed in there? Just kept going.
Tooth gets shoved out of his mouth, through his lip into his nose.
Just keep wrestling.
It's gonna go.
Jim Ross on commentary notes, everything that I said was like real.
Yeah.
Like when he got thrown off the first time and I screamed, oh my God, they killed him. He thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And then when he gets chokeslammed through the second time and Jim Ross is screaming, just end this match already.
Yeah.
He wanted him to end the match. And they just trotted his ass out there. Royal Rumble, they hit him 12 times with a fucking chair. Boss Man gets a fucking glass pitcher broken over his fucking face. They didn't give a shit about anybody.
No.
And then, of course, Foley at the end goes, Vince McMahon afterwards said, I appreciate everything that you've done for this company. I never want to see something like this again. I'm like, really, motherfucker? Like, I've been watching the fucking Monday Night Wars. Mm-hmm. Give me a break.
Let's not forget that after falling off the cell twice against The Undertaker, Mankind later did a run-in the main event.
Yeah, then on Raw the next night, he's just backstage, just doing a segment.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see.
Mark Henry at the strip club.
D'Lo attacks Mark Henry at the strip club. Jeff Jarrett tries to kill China with Hunter right there. Vince is doing push-ups, and then it's Triple H and China versus Vince and Shane. But Shane is putting a forklift to block the door to Vince's office, so Test comes out instead.
Was it Shane?
I assume, because Test is right there. They were ready to go.
Sure, we didn't really know, though.
I guess we don't know. I assumed it was Shane. It does beg the question, why would you book the match in the first place? Because Vince didn't want to do it at first.
Well, I think based on the end of the show that we're supposed to believe that Hunter, because when Vince came out with the chair, he went after Hunter.
That's true.
But why Shane had a backup so quickly, I don't know.
I don't know. So the match was Triple H, China, Test, and Shane. One good wrestler, one good attraction, one big green guy, and the promoter's son.
And boy, was he ever Shane McMahon.
He sure was.
Dude, what a backyarder.
So
Just jumping and falling and doing flips and looking sloppy and almost killing people.
Jarrett runs out and attacks Test. China attacks him. They brawl to the back. Now Hunter's alone. And I thought, they've got their out. No, Hunter destroys Shane. He destroys Test. Destroys the referee as well. He beats up 3 men. Pedigrees Shane onto his face. And at some point in here, the bell rang. I guess Hunter was DQ'd, but at least it was a finish.
Yeah, Lawler says, and I quote, huh? What? That's his response to the bell being rang.
So Vince finally appears.
I mean, the guy attacked the goddamn referee. I don't know why Lawler was shocked.
Vince appears, levels Hunter with a chair, and that's the go-home segment for the six-pack challenge.
Yeah, this show went off a cliff.
After
The
the very first
literal
segment.
definition of off a cliff. All right, are you ready?
I am prepared.
Okay, which one do we usually use? This one?
The finishes on this show were submission after interference, pin in 30 seconds, clean pin in a mess of a tag match, clean pin in a minute in a mixed tag match, pin for the tag titles in a handicap match without one of the champions but with two other dudes and also interference from a sixth person, pin after vibration, pin in a hardcore match after pitchers and chairs and distraction and handcuffs and a wrench, DQ in the main event.
Excellent report, Vince.
Monday Night Raw number 331, September 27th, 1999. A notorious show.
I know why yours was turned down, because I was at the beach. I got it. Okay, go ahead.
Because you can hear the beach.
No,
with the
there's a
headphones on.
reason. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it.
When you go to the beach, the volumes get turned down.
Listen, when I go to the beach, you are connecting through that box to me at the beach, okay?
Word.
All right. So if I leave your audio at that same level that it is here, it peaks on that thing.
I see.
So I have to turn your audio down 10 dBs when I go to the beach so it doesn't peak the box. Then when I come back, I got to put it back to normal. I forgot.
Okay.
So you were still down 10.
So it's your fault.
No, it's your fault. You didn't remind me. Okay, let's get going here. What are we doing first? I'm just testing you, Vinny. I know the answer.
Do Raw first, it
Thank
says.
you. Okay, let's do this.
Nice.
WWF Retro Raw 331.
I've already lost my voice.
September 27th, 1999. Show opens with highlights of the six-pack challenge match from the pay-per-view. There is chaos. There are striking
Bedlam.
refs attacking a scab ref.
Ballyhoo.
There's the Bulldog hitting the Rock with a chair. Austin hitting Bulldog with a chair. Hunter pinning Rock. Austin countering the pin, but then stunning Hunter anyway.
Yep, that's what happened.
Okay.
We're on the same page.
Earlier today, Vince and the referees came to an agreement. The strike is over. He told them to take charge.
You know what I wrote about this? Who gives a shit?
Sure.
I don't have an answer.
There was a real-life strike in baseball, and they thought that because something was happening in real life, we'd give a shit if they did a storyline about it.
Yeah.
Bullshit. This was a stupid storyline, and it sucked.
All it would do is remind people, hey, baseball's on, and they turn the channel.
Yeah, except it wasn't on head-to-head. It was football.
Hunter came out for his promo. He's out there in jeans and a jacket, which he opens to reveal his championship belt. Chyna's out there in a sparkly bikini. So he brags about winning, brags about making Austin count 3, says he pinned the People's Champ. Austin's next. At this point, the British Bulldog interrupted. And he explained that he and Hunter had made a deal that if either one of them won the title at the pay-per-view, they would give the other a title shot tonight.
Clearly this happened on SmackDown, which we don't watch.
Was the Bulldog in the six-pack challenge match?
Or Heat. I presume so.
Apparently.
That's what it sounds like.
So,
What's the name of the pay-per-view?
Unforgiven? Unforgiven.
No, that's the next one.
I wrote Unforgiven.
You're an idiot. Let's see here. Fully loaded. Well, it's not fully loaded. It's not SummerSlam.
Does this really matter?
Yeah, because I'm going to find the fucking results for you. It was Unforgiven, just like I said. The 6 men involved in the match. Triple H, The Big Show, the British Bulldog, Kane, Mankind, and The Rock.
Oh, because Taker left.
Yes, so the British Bulldog. That's right, the Taker's gone.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah, we should mention that to everybody. Undertaker's gone.
To like May or something.
He's been pulling his groin. He needs to take several months off before he can come back.
I see what you did there.
You're so proud.
I have been driving all fucking day. Do you understand? I woke up and I drove from the Oregon coast back to the house, and then I watched Raw. After teaching 2 hours of kids class. So I'm a little bit fucking crazy right now. Let's keep going.
So here is how they wrote their way out of the storyline. Hunter says, quote, I lied to your ass.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Bulldog says he can take Hunter out now or take him out later. They get in a brawl. The referees run out. Vince comes out. He congratulates Hunter on his win, books him in a title match against The Rock tonight because Rock got screwed by the Bulldog. So this is all well and good. Everyone's happy, but then Jim Ross points out, wasn't Austin supposed to get the title shot tonight?
Leave it to Ross to be the tattletale
And the voice of reason
for
as well.
Steve Austin.
So we missed, let's count. We missed SmackDown.
Yep.
We missed Heat.
Yes.
We missed the pay-per-view.
Yes.
Anything else? Was Velocity on at the time or jacked?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And if it was, nothing happened.
In those 3 shows, not only are the New Age Outlaws back together, they're tag team champions
Yes,
again.
they are.
Yeah, I don't know when they won the belts.
What?
Yeah. And Kane,
I missed a month.
Kane and X-Pac are back together.
Yeah.
And as noted in The Observer, they didn't even explain that one in those.
No, they
shows.
just came back.
They're just back.
I guess Shawn Fields is not an anchor anymore.
Bunch of shit happens.
Okay, no, I wrote it all down.
Oh, here we go.
Moolah beat up Ivory on Heat and then beat her up again in Unforgiven. Jeff Jarrett meets with Tom Pritchard. Mankind has balloons and something under a curtain. Oh, no.
Yeah, I got stuff to say about it.
Okay, so to recap, Jarrett meets with Pritchard, Mankind is walking, and then Jarrett and Pritchard are walking. There's no commercial break in there. They show Jarrett and Pritchard, then Mankind, then Jarrett and Pritchard again.
Well, Vinny, I believe that a few weeks ago there was an incident and you said there was no commercial break, and we later found out there actually was a commercial break. So it is possible there was a commercial break right here.
I suppose.
It was just
Do
surreptitious.
you think they've earned the benefit of the doubt? I've made mistakes before. I'll make them again.
Sure.
But I'm just
Who
saying.
cares?
Yeah, just rewind the show.
Fuck no. Ever. Steph and Test go tuxedo shopping. The women in this crowd loved Test in his tuxedo.
He wants to look for lingerie.
Can we go lingerie shopping now, he says.
Yeah, she's just so embarrassed.
Giggle, giggle, tee-hee.
Does she know they're getting married? Does she understand what this is all about?
I don't think she does.
She is a young, innocent, naive young lady.
Yeah. Let's
Yes.
get married and sleep in separate rooms.
Oh, like Ricky and Lucy.
They have separate beds.
But still.
You know, let's get married and live in separate houses.
There's a
I don't want to get too uncomfortable with me and Andrew.
There's a local DJ whose wife lives in California.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Jarrett, Pritchard, and Miss Kitty came out. Now, Brian, when I got here, you were watching the end of Raw. I watched Raw on Friday night, and I was going over my notes before the show, and it feels like another human being watched and recorded these notes because I have no memory of any of this. So I will do my best to try to make sense of what happened, but let me know if I screw anything up. So at the pay-per-view,
See, I didn't even bother with this, so that's why I don't have this problem.
Jarrett beat up Moolah and May. Then Deborah broke a guitar over his head. This helped Chyna win, but Tom Pritchard stuck his nose in this for some reason.
He was one of the refs because the refs were on
He
strike.
stooged off Chyna, showed a replay, which means Chyna is DQ'd, and thus Chyna pedigreed Tom Pritchard.
Yeah.
Right.
So Jarrett challenges Chyna and Deborah to face himself and Pritchard.
Correct.
Okay. Big Show versus Jericho. Jericho brags about ending Ken Shamrock's career. Calls Big Show the biggest waste of sperm in the company.
I mean, that's not true.
That's a very mean thing to say. Yeah. Prince Albert's on commentary running down the Big Slow. My favorite part of this match is they go to do the short arm scissors in the Gotch lift. It just I've seen it done a million times, but it looked like Jericho had no idea how to do a short arm scissors. And Show also had no idea how to do the Gotch lift, but he's a giant. So he just muscled him up and slammed him down.
A Train on commentary made fun of Big Show for having a giant head.
He did.
Ironic.
So Show goes for the choke slam, but the referee calls for the bell before Albert has done anything.
Yeah.
He's psychic, this referee.
Well, I mean, there's a giant man on the top rope. I mean,
How many times?
I know, Vinny, but this referee did it right.
Yeah, they're just
All these other assholes do it wrong.
They're fresh back from a strike. He's loaded for bear.
I've said it before, Vinny. If you and I are in the ring together, and I hit the ring with a shotgun, and I aim it at your head, the match just keeps going till I kill you.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a fucking DQ when that big guy gets on the top rope.
I will add, Vince did tell the referees to take charge tonight.
He did.
This referee took charge.
Good. Good for him.
So it's a DQ, and then Road Dogg, who is back with the Billy Gunn and is a tag team champion, now attacks Chris Jericho. What?
Who cares?
Mankind is talking to whoever is behind his curtain when Stevie Richards, in one of the few high points of Raw, Stevie Richards arrives in a tie-dye shirt and says, "Mick, I want to be Dude Love." And Mick spits out his coffee, shouts, "Why?" He says the chicks hated Dude Love. It was all part of the gimmick.
I did love that they had to explain the joke. To all you dumb fuckers out there,
Yes.
Dude Love was not, in fact, beloved by the ladies.
No. But he gives Stevie his blessing.
Yes.
So I'm guessing Dude Stevie is a thing now.
I have no memory of that.
I don't remember even showing up just
It
like
must
Christian
have
did
been
the
very,
week.
very compelling.
It's just going to be another character next week.
Probably. Austin arrives. He is, of course, pissed.
Oh, that's right. He's another character every week. That's why I don't remember it.
Even more than usual. Cole interviews Chyna. She accepts Jarrett's challenge, warns Deborah to stay out of the ring. Steve Austin comes out, demands Vince explain himself. Vince says, "I promised you a title shot, but I never promised when." He says, "You are going to get the title match at No Mercy."
I'd have to go back. I could have sworn he did say next week on Raw. But maybe he's like Hunter. I lied.
Lies.
I'm a promoter. I lie.
Well, Steve Austin reluctantly accepts these terms, but warns Vince if he does not get this No Mercy title shot, he'll beat him like he's never beat him before.
Yes, he will stomp a mud hole in his ass like never before and walk it dry. He never likes to leave those mud holes wet.
No.
I don't know why.
Wasted mud hole.
Guess so, yeah.
GTV has a hidden camera in the Mean Street Posse.
Can I write what I wrote about this fucking thing?
Can you write it?
Mean Street Posse. Shut up.
Don't yell at me. You said something dumb.
You don't have to point it out.
Oh my gosh.
If a tree falls in a forest, Vinny,
Right?
if I say something stupid and you don't point it out, maybe nobody will notice.
This whole show is devoted to pointing out stupid shit.
You're giving me an
Yeah,
aneurysm
this show, not me. Anyway, the Mean Street Posse are running a train on Terry,
Yes, they are.
right?
That is
Okay.
the story, yeah.
So Rodney went first.
Yes.
He's reclining.
Or at least he finished first.
He's reclining. The door opens. Out comes Joey Abs. He's followed by Terry, and she's got a towel around her. Okay. Now it's Rodney's turn. He's so excited.
Yep.
He begins taking off his
Go
clothes.
third, by the way.
You've never seen a man so excited.
To go
Go first, second, or third. It doesn't even fucking matter. You've never seen a
yes,
guy
it
so
does.
excited. He's ready to go. And Rodney and Joey Abs kick Terry to the curb.
Terry starts to ask for a favor, and they laugh her off. They degrade her. They call her terrible names. They tell her to beat it.
And Rodney cock blocks Pete Gas.
He did. He absolutely did.
In this case, I can use that term, Craig.
Sure.
But in this case, it's apropos. That's what fucking happened.
what happened.
I'm not making one moment of this segment up.
No, this is what happened.
This was fence building to the 10th degree.
So
It was.
They degrade her. She has to do the walk of shame out of the room. And this closes the only part of this I remember 20 years later because the delivery was perfect. In every sense of the term, frustrated, Pete Gas asks his friends, "What are you two beaters doing?"
That's what he said. I thought you were going to mention the line, "Why I'm always the caboose,"
That too.
and say, I remember that line from high school. Why was I always the caboose?
Wow.
I thought about 8 different things there. I'm not saying any of them. So
Hey,
anyway,
that's what happened in the segment, everybody.
that is what happened in the segment.
That's what led to this discussion. That segment.
Vinny, when you were in high school, the train never got out of the station, did it?
That's closer to the truth, yeah. I will add, by the way, that for a guy who only ever wrestles in sweater vests, Rodney is ripped,
Yeah, he's
Sure.
a wrestler.
I guess. So
No, Rodney? No, yeah, he's just a guy.
Joey Abs is a wrestler. He wasn't ripped.
Yeah, well, Rodney's Rodney Lionheart.
He was. That's
You
true.
cannot have the last name Lionheart
Wow.
and
Flabby.
not be ripped. Otherwise, he'd always be the caboose.
I suppose so. Steve Blackman versus D'Lo Brown.
Pete Gas is always the caboose.
Touche.
So at the pay-per-view, Val Venus pinned Steve Blackman,
God.
but Blackman just hit him with a stick
Are
anyway.
you recapping this fucking pay-per-view? I honestly don't know why you bother, but it's making me laugh. I'm going to let the people know all this shit that happened on pay-per-view that I didn't see. But I'm recapping from what they told me happened.
recapped it. It must be important.
Okay.
Sometimes the night before ties into Monday night.
Oh, yeah?
I said sometimes.
So the boot of the week, the Lugs boot of the week, is D'Lo Brown hitting Mark Henry with a frog splash to win the European title, which is not a boot.
No.
Draws is on commentary.
Oh,
here.
how sad.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah. Oh.
Next week is the last one. Yeah, October 5th. I looked it up because I thought it might be the
I
show.
bet you they don't show it.
It didn't happen.
Of course they don't. It's a SmackDown taping. The tape has never been seen.
Yeah. So Draws is on commentary. So they're doing this match, and it's Steve Blackman and D'Lo Brown, and they're all involved in about 18 different stupid feuds. And I suddenly noticed this referee has his arm in a sling.
Yes.
He had it in a sling during the
Yes.
pep talk as well.
He's got to earn
Well,
his keep.
that's fine because he's not reffing. I know he had a shirt on.
Sure.
But here,
You're
they
right.
took a guy with a broken arm and put him in the ring for
Vinny.
a match when guys get bumped all the time.
They're
Vinny.
desperate.
Vinny, the referees are no longer on strike. They have been given their autonomy back. He needs only one arm to count. He can do this job.
So in this championship match where Steve Blackman has a chance to win championship gold, he hits D'Lo with a stick for the DQ.
Yeah.
Gets himself disqualified.
Yeah. Who wants to lug that through an airport?
He hits a security guard with a stick.
John Dodson.
Yeah, and Draws goes after D'Lo, and Mark Henry and Nurse BB are checking on D'Lo.
Yeah.
Mark
Should have been
Henry-
Nurse DD.
Mark
Really,
Henry and D'Lo back together. Why?
It would have happened.
Are they back together?
Maybe Mark Henry was just out there pretending to care about him to make time with Nurse BB.
Could be.
I see.
But yes,
Yeah, he's sexual chocolate.
They had a match last night, and
Yeah.
now Mark Henry's out here checking on him.
Okay.
Mankind's walking backstage. He invites Steve Austin to join the party, at which point Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he is having a bad night, politely declines.
Yeah.
The old Steve Austin would have stunned their heads off. He's gone soft. So,
Here we go.
been doing these shows for a long time now. And there have been times where in the middle of a segment, I have had to, for example, go for a walk or address my stress in some other way. This is the first time I've ever, going into a segment, liquored up.
Vinny.
I pressed pause. I walked over to my counter. I selected a bourbon, or excuse me, a whiskey. I went with Crown Royal and a shot of Crown Royal and said, okay, now I am ready to watch This Is Your Life.
He was drinking on the job.
Do you know what this man is, Craig? This is a man who, for the last year, has not watched Raw and SmackDown in 2018.
Yeah.
That's what you are now, Vinny.
Good. Thank you.
Go ahead and recap this segment, then I'm going to give you a dose of reality.
Okay. So, shot consumed. I press play. Mankind comes out. He's got balloons and shit. It says, in the six-pack challenge, he had put Mr. Socko in The Rock's mouth. I think he also had a DDT in The Rock. He didn't know what he was thinking. He stayed up all night thinking of a way to make it up to The Rock. He asked The Rock to come out. Rock obliged, did his usual promo. Says, there's no apology necessary. I have a title shot later. I need to go prepare. What do you want? And that is when Mankind says, Rock, this is your life. And there is music and pyro and confetti and balloons and ballyhoo. So Mankind asks, do you know who this voice is? And there's a voice asking if Dwayne would answer an important question. Out comes an old woman. We are told it is Rock's 6th grade home ec teacher, Betty Griffin. Mm-hmm. The graphic says she's an English teacher. Her name is Mrs. Schubert. And then Rock called her Mrs. Griffith.
It all happened.
I'm not sure if it was supposed to be a fuck up like that, because in a segment like this, you just never know. But I can't help but notice that from that point forward, nobody else got a graphic.
Right.
So I'm thinking it is possible that they told Mick to announce certain names, and he didn't think that there was going to be a graphic, so he just made up names. And then it was all fucked up.
Makes sense.
So Rock has bad memories of his 6th grade home ec class. Why? Because they made chocolate chip cookies and blueberry muffins, but he never got to make pancakes.
Hey, could be a serious issue, Vinny, if you really
Explain.
like pancakes.
Explained she was out of Aunt Jemima. That's what The Rock said.
Imagine if Vinny were watching SmackDown with the fucking New Day and those goddamn pancakes. Every fucking week there's pancakes out there.
For like a year now.
Jesus Christ, I'm sick of pancakes.
So Everyone's appalled when they said she was out of Aunt Jemima. He tells her to go to the SmackDown Hotel, and she leaves. Then we hear a voice of a grumpy old man telling Johnson to drop and do 20. Yes, I know the voice of grumpy old men very well. Thank you, Bryan. Out comes Coach Everett Hart of the Freedom High School Warriors to Lex Luger's Made in the USA music.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they claim this is the football coach who made Rock an All-American at the University of Miami. The Rock was not an All-American at the University of Miami.
Still wearing his whistle, by the
Did
way.
they reveal that, or did they pretend like he was?
No, they outright lied and said he was.
Oh, wow. I can't believe that.
So the
What's
Rock
happened to this business?
The Rock tells the time about when he DDT'd the quarterback and the coach made him do sprints.
No shit?
Yeah, you can't do that, Rock.
Especially this now.
Especially 2018. So he tells the coach to stick his whistle up his ass, tells
You
Mankind...
can't tell somebody that in 2018 either.
The point, it's a football joke, Bryan.
I know, Vinny. But I'm pointing out that you can't
No, you
tell
It's even
someone
more true now.
in 2018 to stick a whistle up their ass.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So Rock tells Mankind to get this over with. Mankind does not get this over with. And you go back and forth about stealing lines. There's a voice about wanting to run her fingers through Dwayne's hair.
Wait, do you even mention who this is, or you just skip it
I am
forward?
about to.
Oh.
The voice first.
I see the lines. I got it.
Yes. Out comes Joanne Embriani
She was cute.
to the Narcissists music. They had Lex Luger's CD laying around. They just decided to use it tonight.
Ironic, too, as well.
Yes, that's what happened on Nitro. She used to love The Rock's tongue. She liked to nibble on his ear and neck.
The women loved this.
Yes, they did.
They were going crazy.
And then she told him to go for second base, but then cut The Rock off at second base. And now Rock says she wants to serve him poontang pie.
He cracks himself up with this line.
He cracked himself up.
Jerry the King Lawler
Thank you.
died for the first time on Raw here.
Jerry Lawler was happier to hear the words poontang pie on Raw than he has ever been to hear, see, or experience poontang pie in his own personal life. I guarantee you this.
Well, we don't know that.
Oh, I guarantee he's as happy as he was here. So Rock ejects this. What the hell was her name? Joanne Embriani. Sends her to the
Very
back.
important to get that name.
Bryan, I'm a journalist.
I know.
Facts to report. So Mankind then says, all right, I admit the teacher was a bitch, the coach was a jerk, and your girlfriend was a skank. Now it is time for presents. At this point, it occurred to me. My shot of Crown Royal had worn off. This thing had gone so long. I
It
had started
wasn't
sober.
that long, for fuck's
got
sake.
drunk,
Jesus Christ.
Sobered up again. I got another shot here.
Are you new at this wrestling thing? Holy smokes.
Mankind got Rock a Rock and Sock jacket, got himself one. The crowd is chanting Rock and Sock. He debuts Mr. Rocco, which is a sock with Rock's face on it.
I thought it was a fucking puppet.
Turns out under the curtain is Yerple, the clown from one of the great segments of all time,
Yeah, the same clown.
from the Vince McMahon bedtime
That's very
show.
thoughtful of Mick Foley.
She goes up to put a sticker on Rock's shirt.
I like you.
It says, I like you, yes. But
I like you.
As she holds up the circular item to his shirt, look at you, you're so happy.
He's got. I
I didn't get it until Lawler was absolutely... This was the second most fun he had all night.
Yeah.
When he got to explain, I like you.
So as she is holding up her I like you sticker, Rock looks at this circular item and asks, is that a condom?
No. Yeah, Ross.
Ross.
Yes.
Yeah. So Rock says it doesn't matter what Yearball's name is, and now Mankind is upset.
Well, Vinny, that's the key there. He asked her what her name is, and he exploded. It doesn't matter what your name is. That set Mick Foley off. Of all the things tonight, he could not stand for Rock bearing this happy clown.
Well, they go way back.
Yes.
So he explains he has done all this, gone through all this work, all this time, all this money, all this trouble, trying to do something special for The Rock, and now The Rock is just mean to everyone and, quite frankly, very ungrateful.
It's true. I
now-
felt for Mick Foley.
Now Yerple is going to lead the crowd in singing Happy Birthday to The Rock. They bring out a cake. They sing the song. Rock says, my birthday is May 2nd.
It's true.
At this point, I have never been so happy to see Triple H
Oh, my God.
charges the ring with a sledgehammer. This was the old vaudeville hook to get a bombing act off stage.
Oh,
It's Hunter with a hammer
Wow.
to chase them away.
Let me explain something to you, Vince. when this happened originally, some people thought this was the greatest thing that they'd ever seen. Okay? These people were wrong.
I was not one of them.
Okay?
I knew it sucked at the time.
It was not great at the time. Now, here's the thing, Vinny.
Before you talk about Modern Raw.
I'm not going to talk about what Modern Raw.
Okay.
I just want to say that watching this today, on the 5-star scale, okay? 2 3/4 stars.
That's generous.
Whoa.
Hold on.
You left out the
Hold
negative
on.
sign.
No. 2 3/4 stars.
You thought this was a better than average segment, almost good.
Here's the key. It was
I
not...
may walk out of the studio right now.
Listen to me. It was not good, okay? But, hold on. 2 3/4 is not good.
Okay.
Okay.
It's almost good.
The whole thing was, this is the whole key to the next 19 years of your fucking life, Vinny. The Rock has so much fucking charisma. And Mankind was so great in his role that this honest to God, especially looking back 19 years, it was better than average because of The Rock and because of Mankind. If you take these two fucking guys out and you do this exact same skit,
I'll give you
it's
this.
minus like 1,000 stars.
I did have that thought.
That's what it is, though.
I do not think it was 2 3/4 stars, but I did think, you know what? Rock is not saving this, but it would be a billion times worse with any other human.
Yes, every fucking week I see something 10 times worse than this.
Rob just cursed.
I just saw something 10 times worse right now as I looked over and
Do we not have video for the show anymore?
What's that?
I got the Rob face.
Yeah, we got the thing stopped recording.
Oh.
No.
You know, I'm gonna just hang out here. I'm gonna hold that thought that I had
No, you're not.
about fuck it.
Yeah, it's in a button.
All right.
Problems are being solved. Rob's on the case. I have faith in Rob.
Rob's on the case.
Yeah.
Why'd that happen?
Frightening words. My guess is there's too much. There's too many videos in the.
Damn it, Tony.
folder.
Tony.
Whoever's fault it is.
You probably turned my knob down too.
Nah, but I had his knob on the whole time, which I shouldn't have, because now there's going to be too much feedback and echo in this room. I'm going to leave it on right here while he clicks that damn mouse over and over again.
This is clicked, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start recording again.
All right, start recording again, Rob. Action. So anyway, Vinny, as a man who doesn't watch Raw and SmackDown, they do shit like this all the time, and it's 1,000 times worse than this. This had The Rock. This had Mankind. Now, the problem was, it had The Rock and Mankind, and it did like a giant rating. Okay? It didn't do the highest rating of all time like everybody says. It was like in the 7s. And the show at some point has done like a 9. Okay? But because it did so good, they've done 25-minute fucking bullshit skits for 19 fucking years now, and they all suck. That's the point of this whole thing right here. This wasn't that bad.
That's a reason to knock it down.
This wasn't that bad, dude.
Put the blame for all the other bad segments on this one.
You're welcome to do that. Go for it.
Now, they really go 25 minutes. This one did. It's a long fucking time.
Yeah.
There's 25-minute segments on Raw every week.
Yeah, you should see...
No, it should not.
see Bobby Lashley and... What was that fucking one with Lashley and... Was Sami Zayn?
I think it's his sisters.
That was
Oh, my God.
that was
Dude.
death television.
Now,
Imagine this skit, Vinny, without The Rock or Mankind, but 3 dudes dressed up as women.
and Lashley.
Yeah! Fuck!
Now, I will say this. It was not as bad as I remembered. I was going through the whole thing. I had my 3 thoughts were, this sucks, but sucks less than I thought. 2, it would be a million times worse than anyone but The Rock.
Yep.
And my 3rd takeaway from all this was, I actually hated it. At first, I was happy when Hunter came out and just ended the segment. Then I realized that was the whole payoff.
Yeah, that's the
It was
payoff.
25 minutes to set up Hunter chasing me with a sledgehammer.
Yes.
Then I got angry again.
Yeah. Yeah, like, this whole segment, the punchline is Rock saying, "It's not my birthday," and Foley saying, "Every day with Rock is like someone's birthday." That was the payoff.
Yeah, give us a thumbs down and significantly less than 2 3/4 stars.
Oh, wow, Vinny.
And this is
Come
the
on.
first time ever in a wrestling angle With a birthday cake.
Hang on. Wait, no. Sorry, Craig. You drove up on the fucking Oregon coast today.
Yes.
You worked with your goddamn kids.
Yeah.
You put on this show and determined the 25-minute segment with Rock and Mankind, This Is Your Life, was good. Was better than average.
Yeah.
I'm actually appalled by this. I've never argued star ratings with anyone about anything before. That was not a 2 3/4 star segment. That was a negative star segment.
Okay, Vinny, if you think so, that's
you.
fine.
All right.
But I don't think so.
No, you must.
Because I watch worse shit than this on a weekly fucking basis. And
So that's -4 star shit.
I watched Nitro first. And after this, I watched fucking Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young versus Ivory. I watched the Mean Street Posse running a fucking train.
All of this
I watched a lot of shit on this show.
all that was better than This Is Your Life.
Oh, get out of here. You'll find out tomorrow on the board. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me.
Craig, I apologize for interrupting. My emotions overcame me.
I didn't give it 5 or 7.
You gave 5 too many.
Oh, get out of here. What would you rate it, Craig? 5-star scale.
A 5-star scale?
Yeah.
Like a 1.5?
Yeah.
That's still positive.
Vinny, get out of here.
I want to. I want to leave.
I should.
I've lost faith in you two.
Oh
didn't-
man, I should find a segment for you to watch.
I didn't hate it because at the time when I was younger watching
Should have
it,
crowned to this show.
I
This show's worse than
enjoyed
that.
it because of Rock and Mankind's banter,
Exactly.
but I didn't love it like Bryan does.
I didn't love it either. I gave it 2 3/4 stars.
Okay, the only thing I have to say about this,
A fucking.
they brought out a birthday cake. Nobody ended up in the cake. First time in wrestling ever a birthday cake was involved with wrestling.
That's
Nobody
true.
ended up in it.
That is your takeaway.
Should I
from
give
a
it another
25
quarter
minute
star?
I
segment?
had nothing to add because you rambled on for 7-8 minutes about this 8.
I'll do it again.
Hey, you know what happened on Raw last night?
Tell me what happened on Raw last night, Brian.
Brie Bella went all UWFI
I heard
she
she about
did.
killed somebody.
on Liv Morgan, and she just starts throwing fucking kicks and kicks her twice in the face and knocks her unconscious.
That sucks.
And then she drags her to the corner by her fucking neck.
That really sucks.
And then they throw her ass back in and do a fucking suplex. So yeah, this was 2 3/4 stars.
All right. No one died.
A highlight of entertainment.
no
this
one was injured here in this 25-minute segment.
You're right. It was too long.
Yes, nobody was injured except you, apparently.
Yeah, you're the one.
Soul. New Age Outlaws got a promo. Did I mention they're back together in tag team champions
Yeah,
now?
they are.
Yeah.
On ghetto tag teams in the back who don't think they deserve to be tag team champions. They challenge any 2 grapplers to face them. The Hollies are watching. They are not certain if these men qualify as super heavyweights, and they leave to get their scale. So they go to commercial. They come back as the New Age Outlaws versus X-Pac and Kane.
Yeah.
Hollies come out in 3 seconds with their scale. They attack in 2 minutes for the DQ. And now DX and Kane are all buddies. And they beat up the Hollies.
Well, actually, it's X-Pac, Kane, and Billy are all buddies, and Kane just stands there in the background like a little lost child. All sad.
Red Rooster interviews Moolah and May. They say Terry, the Red Rooster, is too sweet.
Yes.
Now you know where the Young Bucks got it. They stole it from the Fabulous Moolah.
I think they stole it from DX.
They say Ivory is a tramp, and you're never too old to kick some ass.
I disagree.
You really can be too old to kick some ass. Most old people are too old to kick ass.
I saw it tonight on this show.
The show. When I saw the words, or I heard the words, non-title handicap evening gown match, shot number 3.
Yeah.
Ivory versus Moolah and Mae Young in a non-title handicap evening gown match. Mae
Yes.
Young at this point was in her 70s.
They were both 76 years old.
Mae is taking snapmares. She's hitting body slams.
On top of her head, by the way.
She got thrown over the top rope. I screamed.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about it?
She's alive. Well,
Nothing's
she was
funny
alive
about
then.
What's interesting about it is,
There you go.
so they're both 76. They're both almost 80 years old. Moolah actually walks a lot better than May, but May takes significantly better bumps than she does walking.
Yes, that is true.
It's weird.
Muscle memory.
She's Yoda.
Dude, I guess. She's bumping all over the place. She speared Ivory, ground and pound. There was a sweep in there. May with a body slam. She actually lifted her up and they both fell down. That was a cover. And then I wrote, Ivory rips off May's gown for the win.
No.
I later find out, Vinny, that it is a non-title handicap evening gown match where Ivory must trip both girls in order to win.
It's a non-title handicap elimination evening gown match.
Yes.
They left a word out.
Yes.
I'm owed a shot.
That is worse.
Do we want to get home?
This is worse than This Is Your Life.
I must disagree, because by the end, Moolah tore off Ivory's
Moolah
dress.
and May had no clothes on.
No, but Ivory had no clothes on.
That's true.
And Ivory was running around in her thong.
She was in incredible shape.
And Ivory looked like a woman who looked good in a thong.
Yeah. Can't say that in 2018, Vinny. But if we were to say something like that,
Are you
that's
saying
what
she
we
was
would
bad
say.
in a thong now?
No, get
This
out of
was
here.
in 2000.
You idiot.
This was in 1999. It's okay.
So after watching China nearly naked, or watching Ivory nearly naked, China's backstage in her glittery bikini. She now looks overdressed.
Yeah.
More GTV. Val finds Mr. Rocco in a trash can, rolls it up, and stuffs it in his jeans to give him the illusion of having a Big Johnson.
Yeah.
So GTV, whoever this is, they knew Mr. Rocco was in a trash can and knew if they left a camera there, Val Venus would walk by and take the sock and stuff it down his pants.
Well, the key, Vinny, is that GTV is everywhere. It's a series of cameras. Someone shows up at the beginning of the day and sets up like 80 cameras. Then they go and they look at every single one to find
I see.
anything good.
That actually makes sense.
So
Yes.
this porn star didn't look impressive in jeans, so he stuffed his pants.
Can't be too. Can't be. Who cares? Jeff Jarrett and Tom Pritchard versus China and Deborah. I went to a seminar once with Dr. Tom, and he explained basically at no point in a wrestling match you should ever be standing still, always be doing something. He says, I always like to fuck with my hair a lot. He just waves his hands through his long curly hair and just shakes it around. So he comes out here for this stupid man on woman tag match, fucking with his hair. Just makes me laugh.
Can I tell a quick story? I'll try not to make it too long. I'll try and give the short version. I'll try not to fuck it up. So the Jake the Snake live Q&A. He tells a story. I'm pretty sure that every story that he told was absolute bullshit, which was disappointing because it's Jake the Snake Roberts. You'd think that like he could talk for 5 hours and only tell the truth and it'd be amazing. But instead he had to go out there and just tell a bunch of bullshit stories. So he claims that when he was a young wrestler, just breaking in, he had to go into the locker room and just say, yes, sir, no, sir. Not ask any questions. And he said that every day he would see these guys and they would go and they would reach into their bag and they would put something in their armpit and they would go into the restroom. Then they would come out of the restroom, there'd be nothing under their armpit. And he was like, every guy does this. What are they doing? But he's not allowed to ask questions. So he would befriend these guys and he would always talk to his friends and basically say, I always see these guys get in their bag and they put something in their armpit and they go in the bathroom, they come out and it's gone. What is it? Oh, I can't tell you. If I told you, they'd fire me. So he's constantly wondering what could possibly be in this bag. So finally, one of his buddies comes up to him and he says, Jake, I'm going to tell you what is in everyone's bag. But you are not allowed to let anyone know that I told you. Because if they find out, they're going to fire me. And they may fire you. So he says, what's in the bag? It's everybody's package. And Jake goes, what? And he said, it's their package. Their package.
Their enhancement, if you will.
Exactly. So Jake's like, you motherfuckers. All you fuckers are stuffing shit down your pants and going out there in front of the women, and I'm out there with nothing in my pants. Fuck you all. So he goes into the locker room the next day, and he stands up and he just says, hey, fuck you all. I know it's in everybody's bag. It's bullshit that you didn't tell me. He gets his big fucking towel, and he goes into the bathroom, and he stuffs it down his pants. He goes, not only am I going to have a package, I'm going to have the biggest fucking package in this locker room. So they have the match that evening. It's a battle royal. Everybody goes down to the ring. Jake's walking down, and he's shaking his package, checking out all the women. They got to be looking at my giant package. gets in the ring, and they're about to ring the bell to start the battle royal, and all the guys all of a sudden go to the ropes, and they say, "Ref, check his trunks." Jake's like, "No, don't you dare." And the ref comes over, and Jake's telling him, "Don't you fucking dare reach into my trunks." And the ref goes, and he reaches, and he pulls out this big fucking towel out of Jake's trunks. Everybody howls, "Ah ha ha!" He goes, "Fucked." It's completely full of shit, bud. It's a funny story. You know what's funniest about it? Is I knew what was coming when he's telling the story. I knew the punchline as he's telling this joke. That's exactly what I expected. So for all of you out there in the locker rooms, next time you see Marco stunt, I want you guys to all
Stuff 'em in your pants.
reach into your pants, stuff something, and start walking. And nobody tell him, because I want to be the guy that tells him. All right, where were we?
So it's Jarrett and Pritchard versus China and Deborah.
Oh yeah, we're still on Raw.
Yes, we
Jesus
are.
Christ, keep going. This is your life. That's what I just told the Mr. Rocco story.
China says if she wins tonight, she gets a title rematch and No Mercy. Jeff apparently accepts. They go to break. They come back. Deborah comes out. Huge ovation. She opens her jacket. Tom shoves Jarrett. China low blows Jarrett. Jarrett chop blocks her. Figure 4. Deborah pulls Jarrett's hair. Deborah and Kitty have a cat fight. China low blows Jarrett. Pritchard guitarist China, who falls on Deborah for the win. And then I wrote here, Jesus.
Anybody get all that? China pinned Jarrett. That's all you need to know.
They're doing the Monday Night Raw walk, where they put the camera down low and back up, and the guy walks toward it looking all mean. And Hunter on live TV nearly slips and falls on his ass on this camera.
Yeah.
Hunter versus Rock with Austin on commentary. They did a lot of crowd brawling. Hunter tries to get himself DQ'd with a chair, and then just hauls off and punches the ref in the face. Oh, let's see. A lot of chair shots. Austin destroys Hunter, hits a stunner. There's a rock bottom. Everyone in the building is on their feet. Rock rolls over, makes the cover, and the ref slowly counts, and Bulldog interferes for the DQ.
Hey, this is a hell of a match. Beat the hell out of each other. Place is going crazy. They do all these moves. Ref takes a bump. The highlight is Austin gets in the ring and he gives a stunner, but the ref is down. So Austin gives a stunner and he goes back on commentary just so he can get on commentary and scream at the fucking referee to wake up. Get your ass up, Earl! Like, why don't you just go wake him up, dude? And he wakes up, does a dramatic count, Bulldog attacks for the DQ, at which point Austin says, and I quote, "Son of a bitch!" He didn't want Hunter to win. He doesn't want to have to face Hunter. He's not a big enough star. He's a B-plus player at best.
Speaking of not a big enough star, Bulldog is so out of place in this whole thing.
He is. And you know what, everybody? That right there was the last Vince Russo Raw.
Wow.
It's over. He resigns the following Sunday.
How about that?
Yep. But it does not immediately turn around because they still got his fucking format.
He had a format?
Well, I mean, the format of, you got to make sure there's 85 things happening
I see.
in a 2-hour period.
Yeah.
Brian Vinny's music.
Oh, Vinny's music. I'd be happy to.
If only you would remember.
I got nothing better to do here. Where were we? All right, ready?
Yes. The finishes on this show were DQ with a psychic ref who called for the bell before the interference. DQ due to stick. DQ due to outside interference in 2 minutes. 1 fall to 1 fall win in an Elimination Rules non-title handicap evening gown match. Accidental pin by unconscious woman after guitar shot in man versus woman tag match. DQ due to run in World Championship main event.